It's like weird message in the way. Go away. Today is my Friday, so this works. Hello, Silver. Hello, Scratch. Sorry, I still have the cough. Yeah, we were wanting to do a bonfire because we're kind of getting down to like the last of the year potential for. But I'm actually surprised we still haven't had even all our leaves fall. Last year, I was cleaning up the final bit of the leaves 3 weeks ago, and most people were saying availability was easier on Friday, so we moved things to have a Friday bonfire. Just got an ad with freaking Danny DeVito. But anyway, how people doing? Hi, Ice. Hello, Matt. Yeah, a different day. Last time we had this, I just canceled the Friday stream, but I was like, You cancel a stream and it's like half the streams are done for the week. And I already have, in 2 weeks, we're going to have a Friday stream because we have the Ciderfest. Which they got back to me today about panel acceptance stuff. So I got one of my panels accepted, which is all I cared about. I put in 2, but actually that second one I really didn't care about, so that's fine. But 14 days. 14 days before leaving for the convention. And then they send out panel acceptance. Wow. Yes, Ciderfest. Yeah, it's bad fanfic. That one's popular. That one's always going to be accepted. But it was funny because I remember I've been told at conventions so many times about putting in panels, and the amount of times I've been told, don't worry, whatever you put in, we're just going to we auto accept anyway. I'm like, yeah, that's not what you should do, but okay. And that's usually what it's been for years. And I knew eventually one of them was going to be denied, and it's not surprising. I mean, it really kind of should be. It's nice having, more people potentially with panels, but I love when they do that as a selling point. Like, oh, no, we love you. Don't worry about it. We'll always accept your stuff. And then they don't one time. But it means that they got a lot of submissions, and it's nice to be able to get it spread out. From a convention's perspective, technically, they usually accept community guest panels, and they want to, if you accept more panels from less people, it technically saves you money. So if I was to send in 5 panels and all 5 were accepted, they only have to pay for the 1 badge. But if they accepted 5 panels from 5 different people, then they're technically eating 5 times as much. So I think it just depends. Do you need to crunch some bad fanfic images? Thing is, I'm probably going to go kind of sort of easy mode on this one. So I pulled out some stories to look at, but I usually go back 6 months, and I found some, but they don't feel great. I think like 2 of them are good, and I'm probably going to use them, but I think the rest of them I'm just going to pull from my backlog. I have a ton of backlog that are from like years ago, and originally I always wanted to do new ones because I don't want to have it feel like every time you went to a convention you're getting the same stories over and over again. But now it's been so long since I've done those stories that I feel like I can pull some back from like 2018, and most people are going to not remember it or never been there for those. So I think that's fine. And one of the ones I want to do, the picture for that story is kind of good. So I think I might just use the actual stories picture, and that maybe leaves one other. So then I don't really have crunch. It's going to be probably one of the least effort cons I'm going to have to do for prep in a long time. Even last year's Winnie City took a bit of prep. Ciderfest last year was crazy. That one, not doing that again. Sometimes I wonder what kind of panels get rejected. If I remember right, I don't know about types, but it almost seems like they have almost like they only can accept about 40% or less of what's submitted. So they're denying about half or more. But a single person could put in 12 ideas. So I never know how that works. But I do know that every community guest is going to have a panel accepted because they're required to have a panel. So in a way, if you get accepted for community guests, you kind of get a guaranteed panel. And if you are community guest too, most of your stuff gets accepted as well. But then there's some people that are like, I have 8 panels. Okay. But does that mean that when the con is like 15% of you, then that's not either a good sign too. Sometimes it's nice seeing new people do panels. It's sometimes rough seeing people do new panels. I've been my share of some terrible panels, but everybody needs to start somewhere. Michael's did not get accepted, which is sad. I thought the modding one would have been really interesting. I should have taken a look at what he wrote on it. You gotta sell yourself. Bad fanfic? I don't think I've changed the text of bad fanfic in like 2019, 2018, something like that. I literally just, because there's this fun little trick. You want to have an adventure. If you go to Ponyville Cider Fest, yeah, that just did it here. They have their current site, but if you ever just put like slash and then the year, you can go to their previous sites and you can see the schedule and all the stuff and the information from those. They're all archived. It's not always visible to go. Sometimes these have them linked, but yeah, it even has a link to go back to current year. But sorry, it's interesting to be able to go back, but also I just like it because I go back to like, I think it's 2021. That's why it comes up a lot here. And I just grab the description from the previous panel. I don't care. They don't read the panel submissions anyway. If I had to take a guess what they're doing on the panel submissions is they're looking at the name of the who submits it first, and they probably already group over like people that they know. And all the other ones, after they've gained a certain, like probably half of them just from that group, then they probably go through the rest of them based on maybe theme, but probably just more based on a quick glance. If they get 200 something submissions, they're not going to go through them all. I can guarantee it. They're going to do really quick once overs. I can almost guarantee you too that about 10% of them are tossed immediately just for some. Maybe a couple of them are trolls, bad descriptions, bad write-ups, that type of thing. If you have a description for a panel that you put in that has a lot of grammatical errors and just issues with words, doesn't sound right, they're going to just kick it out. If you're not putting the time into your description, you're not going to be accepted. It's good to put the details in. Actually, the one thing I do like for bad fanfic this time is that we're not at midnight. We're at like 10 something. So I mean, it's still later, but not late. Actually, I didn't check. I have something going on Friday night. What day is it? I should check that. Hopefully it's Saturday. If not, oh well. It's Friday. Okay, interesting. Oh, okay. I was going to mess around about microphones, but I think that based on the information they provided, I'd be fine. Okay. Hello, Craft. Yes, I was just talking about Ciderfest stuff. A modding panel would be interesting, but it could be too technical, boring, or too adult club. So I'm guessing you're right about the wording of this application. Well, you can't really go the last bit if it's not 18 plus. And I don't think it'd be too technical. I think that it's kind of like what I do with SFM panels when I was doing those. I used to try to like play around, like, you know, show this is how SFM works. Nobody, I mean, it's interesting, but not repeatedly. Instead it would just be like, hey, we're in SFM, let's do something stupid, or let's see other people's content. answer questions. But after like 7-8 years of doing that, it's got some of the same people and they get the same questions. It's like the VA panels are fun, going to see the VAs, but I feel like after you've done that like a dozen times, you get this, it's the same questions that are asked, the same questions they have to answer, the same questions they have to answer with a smile, even though they've been asked that 100 times, because to that person, that's their first time. So they ask that question. So it's, yeah. Is that your OC? Well, the red pony, very red. Michael's gonna be a little later. He's doing groceries, so he said he would be back a bit later. Thursday's normally his grocery day. How are we doing on this shot?
Isn't there something you can do? You know, look. Isn't there something? You know, look. Isn't there something you can do?
Okay, so we got.
You know, look. Isn't there something you can do?
I think Applejack is basically not done. She has a freeze point right at the end of this. I have to blend that. By freeze point, I mean she comes to a complete stop. Right there, you can see that she doesn't even move. Just gotta do a quick smooth throughout this area, and that should fix that. Okay, that kind of works, but I'm going to add a little motion to it. I wish his cough would go away. Ugh. Oh, I don't have the cookie derpy up. Hold on. Fix. Is derpy coming up? There, it's coming up. 1 sec. Oh, there it goes. Cookie derpy. There's cookie derpy. Grocery shopping with Michael. Pizza check, beer check, ingredients for 3-way check. Well, he can't get part of the ingredients for 3-ways here because he has to get it from like online or out of Kentucky. No, actually, he tends to get just too much. We do get some frozen pizzas because we live it on stream days. And he'll go to get beer, sure, but he'll get a lot of other raw ingredients and stuff. He usually cooks on the weekend. Since he doesn't get home until about the time that we normally eat, me and Adam normally do stuff during the week, and Michael takes weekends. What is madness? It is Friday. Why are you here? I am here. I probably should allow 3-way because it's off and it's used here. We're doing a bonfire tomorrow, a friend bonfire. The weather's going to be really nice, and we were people availability was good enough that it worked out. We're going to do either today or tomorrow, and tomorrow worked out better for people, so I'm doing it tomorrow. Okay, I want to put a little bit of a like backwards motion, but I think you spread it out a little bit and then do a little bit less. It's a little strong there. It's just something. If you don't have the camera move, it means that like you can see even like there's a little like single pixel that kind of juts up right there. The camera's not moving, so it just stays as it is. It kind of works that way with everything on the screen. All that SSAO, the little noise. I mean, I can increase the quality to fix that too, but it just all looks like weird if everything's perfectly still, because in reality isn't perfectly still. A camera when recording would have noise in it. So it's always a good idea to have everything move at least a little bit. That's if you ever see people that do the camera shake like that, it's kind of also because it makes it look like a handheld feeling, but also because at least for SFM, it hides that. You can make everything look like it's moving just a teeny bit with very little work done. You gonna make s'mores and dip? I mean, s'mores, yes, but dip? What dip do you make at bonfires? Hello, Big Dirt. Thank you. The screen was dirty. I don't know dip. We usually have brats, chips, s'mores, and a cooler full of drinks. I hate grocery shopping. Due to prices, I have to go to one store for meat, frozen veggies, and sauces. The second for staple items, and order online for the odd stuff. The odd stuff I don't mind so much. Like I don't buy I just had to buy conditioner. I just buy it in bulk. I think I buy shampoo or conditioner like once every year and a half or 2 years. I just buy a bunch in bulk for it to be cheap. But yeah, groceries are kind of pricier. I actually just stop if I'm going to cook something for that day. I just stop at the grocery store on the way home. I pass the grocery store I like on the way home, so I just pull in, grab the things I need, and I leave. It takes me like 15 minutes, and then I don't have to worry about what's at home and buying in giant bulks. I just bring one bag home here and there. But I usually will stop at the grocery store sometimes twice a week then. But I usually go to just one place because it's pretty good overall for the prices. I don't complain about it. I think I can keep Applejack the same here. She doesn't have too much detail here, but I think I don't need it. Oh, she does get a little stationary at the end here. But that's fine. The people are gonna be looking at her anyway. Just a bean dip or buffalo chicken dip. Hot food for dinner and snack and s'mores and for dessert. Buffalo chicken dip. Buffalo chicken for buffalo chicken? I mean, like, yeah, I don't know what I don't think we've ever had dips at the fire. We do we used to get like nicer raw brats, but they take so long to cook on a stick, and even then you're usually going to cook it too close because you get impatient, and then it's going to be still kind of raw on the inside but then like really burnt on the outside. So we've just been getting pre-cooked ones because they cook much faster, and it doesn't really matter if you don't really cook it all the way through anyway. But it just tends to be faster. I do want to get something that we can put over the fire that is like a grate, so that we can put it down. You can put burgers or brats on top, or just put them to the side and let them slow cook and then take them off yourself, and then take off the whole grill when we're done. But haven't really looked into it. We have a really big fire pit. It's like, I think 4 feet across. I think it's about 4 feet across. It's big. Am I considered old for being excited for festival foods being put in for festival foods? I had not seen a festival food in so long. I used to cook brats in beer the night before and then cook them for over the fire the next day. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Just boil a good brat the night before and then refrigerate them and put them out. That's not a bad idea. I can always try something like that. It's a big fire pit. I think city law states your fire can't be anything bigger than 3, but it doesn't say the pit can't be bigger than 3. It just says the fire can't be bigger than 3. So we have a big grate in there. We had to redo the whole thing because the previous owners put a thin layer of cement at the very bottom, about that thick. And if the fire got hot enough, it would cause the concrete to explode. It's called spalding, I think it is. And we had that happen one day. And so we had to take everything out of it. We hammered, thinking that we'd have to chisel away a lot of concrete. Literally one hammer swing broke it up. It was so stupid. We had to break all that up. Then we dug down a bit, dug a hole in the center with some river rocks so that water has a place to settle and get away out of the fire pit. Covered all that with a paver's base, and then did lava rocks, and then we have a big metal grate that we put over it to try to keep things up. But I think I need to put some stones down because I think that the grate starts sinking over time, and I usually have so much fire that or so many fires throughout the year that the ash by the end of the year is pretty crazy too. Okay, I was going to have her go back to this position a little. Too much. A little bit of a cheat method if you want to, because there's the whole thing of doing follow through. It's one of the principles of animation, where you make something moves farther than the point and then it settles back. And the cheat way to do that is to just have it go to a point and then have it return a little bit to the point from before. Instead of having to make 2 keyframes or do the secondary motion for it, just bring it slightly back. And then, so that's where that is, I think. Yeah. Now she has her head kind of just ever so slightly come back a little bit. It is not traveling very far, so I don't need it to like snap. I don't really like how she's from here to here. Feels a little stiff. Wonder if I can have her like turn her head. My friend and I finally burned so much wood and cardboard that we filled a 5-foot wood hole, and it's also 1.5 feet deep of just ash. Yeah, we clean out the pit once a year. We usually will have maybe a dozen fire pit events in a year. And so at the beginning of the year, usually the piles already went up past our grate, and I have a sifter to clean out all the lava rocks, and it usually takes me a couple hours to get it a good, nice, deep clean. But I'm pretty close to the cities, so it's not, I can't have huge fires. A little more. Why is she snapping right there? What is that bone? Head. Hopefully they didn't break anything. It's not just her head. The neck too. Yeah, that looks fine. It does show that I have to blend the other bits too. Just mouth. Did you go to the Renfest this year? Yes, we did. No, I have it on the Plex. Yeah, we did. It was busy. It was very busy. Well, actually, that doesn't even show how busy it was. It was this busy. It was crazy busy. No, we try to go to the Ren Fair every year. It's a ton of fun. This is an even better picture. Right. It was very, very busy. But I think it's a great time. I spent way too much money. I bought a lot of cool stuff though. I don't think I have anything in front of me. Most of it's in the other room. Got some cool, did I put them up? Oh yeah, I did show it. So I got these cool little wooden dragons. Actually, Michael and Adam bought these for me. These are pretty big too. I would say they're like yay across, hand carved. And I like they're the inverted colors. I like that, really cool. We got this little guy. He was only like $15. And he's like, it got the heavy beans in him. So he's a bean baby. I got some cool prints. There's 2 dragons, and I got these other 2 ones. I got this one on the right because it looked like Luna Freya from Final Fantasy 15. And I got this. It's a lasering carved metal sign. So the blue is actually from torching it. And I got it for the bar, and that's actually about yay big as well. And then I got these 2 as well. They're made by hand, broken glass, and when you put some lights in there, it's a really, really deep, cool purple. So yeah. Oh, the plush, yeah, that one. They actually sold some other ones for like $5 or $6 too. They're really small, but he's probably about from tail to front about yay big. He's pretty decent size, but he's not just like plush. He's got like he's full of beans, the heavy beans. So like if you were to throw somebody at that him at somebody pretty hard, it'd probably hurt. I liked that. It wasn't just like cheap stuff. Yeah. I think they had like giant chess that was being played, and I took this picture because I saw it's funny. This person had a bunch of like furs that they had with them, and one was a cat. Found that entertaining. Now there's this like little dragon statue. Not little, actually, those are really big. Yeah. I think there's some video we had of, yeah, just showing how busy it was. But it was a ton of fun. Highly recommend. Minnesota State Fair or Minnesota Ren Fair is really good. But yeah, need to go next year, save some monies. It's so good. Let us know if you want to though. Like usually it's more fun with a big group, and they charge for parking now. So if you can't want to, you can take a bus in, and it's better for an individual, but for a group it's a lot cheaper if you just park, because it's like $15 for a car. But if you divide that out by having say 4 people in a car or more, it gets a lot cheaper. Did you dress as monks again? We did, but it was like 80 something, so it was a little warm. We stayed or at least I was in the monk outfit for maybe like 3 hours, 3 something hours before I was just getting swampy and I needed to breathe. So I had to take it off, and it was much better after that. I want to try to get an outfit one year to go as like a rich noble or something. I think that'd be kind of fun. We're exploring an abandoned overgrown public park in a ghost town. Dad found them and made me load the damn heavy things in the truck to take home. Because of those ghosts in the parks. Those ones in the parks are nice, but they're just kind of rough. We have a Weber. Michael just got one of the cheap round Webers, and it works perfectly fine for the amount of people that we normally cook for. I mean, it's not like we host some stuff, but normally people aren't like, okay, it's time to eat. Food needs to be all ready for everybody. No, you can kind of just have it come out as it comes out. No, she's actually maybe a little bit like here for her mouth. Instead of being as much of like, because she's doing kind of like a nervous bite thing, I think I might reduce that a little bit and be like more open. No, it seems too quick. So I need to have it so that it reduces the teeth at that point, but I think maybe if I just increase the teeth here. Oh, actually, maybe reduce the pucker. and I think that actually works. So I think this needs to have her nose be a little scrunchy. Okay, that actually probably should, when she first starts doing the teeth thing here. There we go. I'm wearing pantaloons. Maybe. I have to say, the problem with getting like Ren Fair outfits is the surprisingly best place to get them is at the Ren Fair. The amount of shops, like you could kind of see that. Maybe not there. That's food places, but oh, there's an actual wedding going on. They have you can get wed there, and they do the full like king and queen and ensemble and everything. It's really kind of neat. That would be a neat place to have a wedding. But no, where are the? I think I saw them in the one here. Okay, yeah. So across all the sides here, these are actually shops. There's probably well over 100 shops there, and they all sell like. I thought you felt a little more tired. Handmade stuff and really cool stuff. And you can see there they have outfits that you can pick up. They actually. Oh, there's Jay Holler. He was with us. The stores that sell outfits there, they're a little pricier, but they all feel great. They all feel authentic. They have real leather things there. You're not just going to get something from Amazon that's going to cost you $20. You're maybe going to spend $80, but it's going to be nice. And it's pretty cool. Though I don't know what I would do with it, I almost got a pocket watch because it was a full reel moving gears and stuff where you have to actually rotate it, and it has glass on there so you can see all the gears of the entire thing spinning and rotating, and that's so cool. I love that kind of stuff. If I could find a watch that was like that, I 100% would, but I also feel like it would be like that thick. It would make the smartwatches feel small. So we're getting something 2 weeks later. Man, it smells like something died in my car. Well, I have a Jeep, so it'd be kind of hard to not see in the back then. Oh, yeah. Look up skeleton watches. You like those? Skeleton watches? Oh, okay. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's some good stuff. Oh, that's expensive, but that's surprisingly not that bad. I love watches. Something like that I would probably actually use. I got a cheap one from work that was like a 5-year thing, and I just didn't know what else to get, and it's not good. It's just kind of crappy. That is like, well, this is way better than a Rolex. Why would anybody want a Rolex? That's okay. I'll have to look at this in the future. That's super neat. Like, I like this one because it looks like it's got the radium on the outside for glowy stuff. And plus, I think like this one looks hard to read. This one looks actually decent to read. Ooh, I like that one too. Oh, see, why you gotta do this to me? This is super cool. Oh, that one's awesome. I like the black one. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know. Lose time in about a month. Well, yeah, because you had to crank it up. But that's, I mean, lose time in a month is a long time, though. That's not a complaint to me. No, I probably wouldn't buy anything like that, at least in the short term. I've got plenty of other things I'd rather spend money on. Plus, once the thing breaks, it's like, how do you repair it? I don't think there's as many like clocksmiths around. Oh, is this the old pear butter? I think it is. Yep. So I got to replace that. One month from now, Argo will have 20 watches. Actually, if I had like I'd almost even more prefer like a wall clock or something like that, but that'd just be way more expensive. But I mean, that's kind of what grandfather clocks are. But I have, I do have a wall clock that has gears that move on it, but it's basically just a normal battery clock with another battery that just turns some gears. But I don't like gear clocks because you can get just gear clocks, but then they're just all just stationary gears. Sometimes not even really gears. They're like imprinted gears and they're really stupid. So I got, I think it was from Etsy. Just so I had something in between. Like that's going a little fancier than, well, that's Etsy, but that looks like it's probably all going to be all stationary. Etsy UK. Are you going UK? No. Oh, actually, I think I saw the one I had. Yeah, I have this one. Yep, that's the one I have. It's not the same color. They have a whole bunch of colors. But yeah, we have that one on our wall, and all the 4 gears on the inside if you actually rotate within themselves. But it's all just a separate battery. That battery dies way faster than the clock does. It was kind of pricey, but I love that clock. It's pretty big too. It's like 24 inches. That's 2 feet. I love it. They did a really good job with it. I love it. No complaints from me. Accutron watches to be plus to minus 1 second at the end of each month. It's okay. Clocks are accurate to what? So I mean, like, if it's like, oh god, the time's off, you just like spin a little bit and it's back on track again. Every clock is going to be only as accurate as the one next to it and the one next to that one. Butter 2. Okay, I gotta remember what to do here. Oh no, I just copy pasted, so actually this should be easier. If it's a root, no, that room stays. Applejack's chest 1 to pear butter root. Why is that? Oh, is that actually the exact same? Oh, it did end the same. Not Applejack, pear butter. That actually is probably the easiest one I've done so far. Delete this pear butter. We get a new pear butter. Wait. That still doesn't seem right. Did I copy the right one? I don't think I did, because I'm seeing all the stuff in that one still. Let's try this again. We have Western root. Oh, I think Michael's home. Yep, he's just doing groceries and then probably food. I had to teach my friend Roman numerals. I don't even read the Roman numerals on a clock though. It's where the hands are. I mean, you divide it into 3 and then it's kind of a percentage from there. Like, I never really look at the Romans. I've seen some clocks that are like owl clocks and it just puts all owls on the outside. I mean, you can still read it, but you should probably put numbers. I did recently get a new clock for over by our bar. It was at Hobby Lobby, so it's kind of like cheap, but it looks kind of retro in how the text fonts and everything is, and since it's kind of by a retro corner, I thought it was fitting. A lot of kids in the generation can't hail to tell time on a hand clock. Linus Tech Tips recently had a video for Windows XP. I think it came out like the last day, and somebody had to burn a CD, and they had a CD case, and they didn't know how to open it, and they were like bending it at the middle, like cracking it, and they're like, how do I open this? And I was like, oh my god, I didn't think CDs and CD cases were that old. Like crazy. Yeah, this looks closer to what I was expecting. Okay, I think we're going to use. Now I have the right model. I had to bring over a newer model because we started originally with these shots on an older version of the model that did not have the same lip syncing. Okay, so I'll just go out with that. Doesn't really matter. And she needs that go away. Wait, I thought I playhead you. There we go. No smirking, no angry. That's fine. You need to... Yeah, neutral. And 1/3 pucker. Okay. Remember LimeWire and FrostWire when MP3 became a thing? I used Kazaa. That was my big one. Now, I still get music and movies, but I just do it legitimately in that I just do thrift shops. I bought probably over 1,000 movies now at thrift stores, anywhere from $1 to $3 a piece. I rip them and then put them on my server so that I can watch them anywhere. Oh, so yeah, I have a ton of that stuff. But if I see a CD for a musician, I think Goodwill sells CDs for $1.50, and if it's something that's good, yeah, I'll get it. I'll put it in the Plex. Plex actually has a new, not new, I guess, it's been around for a while, but it's a Plex amp, which is a audio version of Plex, and the cool thing is that it will merge songs, so like you can have or fade into another song, so when a song starts ending, it will fade into the next one. I don't know many other like music places that do that. I don't know if it's for copyright reasons, they don't want to have like, don't get some other music in my music, but it's really cool that it does that. It kind of surprised me at first because I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was like the CD I was listening to was one of those like old ones where they used to have tracks that merged together by having like the beginning of the next song merge into the end of the next song. Thank God that practice died. That was such a stupid thing. Yeah, I used to burn CDs and stuff too, or put two radios next to each other to record a cassette. Okay, I think I'm just going to lip sync from here. She's speaking slow enough. So it's going to be a little bit back because of the first word. Do a lip bite, which should be B. And a lot more teeth. A lot more teeth. Am I gonna need more teeth? Get rid of that curve. Maybe it's that big grin. Big grin pulls the bottom teeth in, and I don't want that for feel. Feel should be the front teeth. I really don't like doing this, but I'm gonna do it. There we go. Oh, this takes way too long for that to finish. Okay, I need to stretch this. Yeah, I saw a short of a young woman going nuts trying to open a cassette tape. Was she young and just didn't know how they work? I hate buses, honestly. Get motion sick way too easy. No, I can agree. I get motion sick seriously easy. Kind of yelling it, so so this needs to be probably angry. Reduce that pucker. Add more teeth. Probably reduce the angry, add more wide. Does this model have wide? It does. Just there it is. Okay. Wide just adds like expansion to the back. At the time, people don't understand how I can drive for 16 plus hours a day without getting sick. When you're in control driving, that's completely different. I have no problem getting in a car behind a wheel and won't get sick. The only time I might get motion sick is like in that rare situation, like say you're in a parking spot looking down and the car next to you starts moving, like maybe to get out of a parking spot. I've had it where suddenly it felt like my car was moving, and that has made me motion sick, but that's because I was outside of my control. But otherwise, like, yeah, when you're in control, it means that everything that's happened, you can see is happening and you have control of what's happening. And that doesn't cause motion sickness. Motion sickness to me is motion that I do not know or have no control of, or not expecting. That's where I get bad. I mean, that's what I tell them. Have you been in the Ozarks? Don't think so, no. If I'm driving, I'm fine. If I'm passenger, I zonk right out, sound asleep. I'm not big on sleeping in a car. I will get motion sick in a car if it's a drive. If I'm a passenger in a car and I either have low visibility or it's a lot of churns. So like, and I'm not looking out the window. So like if I'm in the back of a car and I'm playing on my phone, I will generally not do that if we're in a city and we're driving around. But you go on a freeway, like say you're doing a long trip and you're just on a freeway going 70 miles an hour one direction, I can poke around on something and I'm not going to be bothered by it. but I will still try to, if like say if I'm playing on my phone, I will hold it up so that I can still, while looking at it, see everything that's moving around me. That helps seriously a lot. But other than that, yeah, it's just when you're driving a straight line, you're already used to everything, the motion that's going on. It doesn't bother me then. Okay, now he needs to go a little bit more forward. I think there's a forward mouth bond. Might not do a little bit of that. Might want to expand the jaw. The mouth open does it where it like brings the jaw down straight. It's like this, not like this. But if you grab you can see that it kind of just brings it straight down. But if you do the jaw bone, it does pivot. I think the new models don't have that problem, but the old VN ones did. Actually, this is the enhanced because the jawbone was not a bone on the other ones. Jawbone and mouth bone are super good. Mouth bone is probably my favorite bone, like that they've added on the new group of stuff. It's so good. The raid we did last time, was it Kendo Dragon or Kendo? I can't remember. He was talking about having the twists and turns of the mouth, and this is how much it helps. I need to go back and not redo lip syncing, but add some of that to some of the existing models. So about here, you can hear L. That's not a teeth sound, so I probably need to reduce it here. And at the beginning of this, I'm gonna grab that jawbone again. So as we're getting like into this, I'm actually gonna grab it, pull it up, and then down, like this. And then it kind of makes it like feel like like it's doing that instead of just that. It's kind of like pushing outwards and pulling back again. Those looks are nice. Just take around folks named Bubba. Okay. It was actually a legit roller coaster without loops. Well, okay, it depends. I've been through Pennsylvania. Maybe I don't know Ozarks. I drove through the Pennsylvania Turnpike once, and that was twisty turny through the Appalachians. Probably one of the prettiest drives I've ever done, though. I woke up at a rest stop with a pillow stuck over my head at like 6 a.m, and fog was just lifting. Sun was just coming over the mountains, and it was a gorgeous drive. We even had another time going through there where there's a low fog, but then it froze, and so the next morning it just looked like a forest of glass. I wish I would have taken pictures, but we're talking like 20 years ago, not 20, maybe like 18 years ago, and I just didn't have I don't think that we had smartphones then, so I didn't really have like a camera phone. I had like a Razor or something. Those were crap. Found the best beef jerky ever from Love's. I know Love's. It's stiff as a board, but the flavor is amazing. $50 a pound though. Oh, it sounds good. Actually, good beef jerky to me should be like nice and thick. If it falls apart, they probably just pumped it full of crap. Freedom Creek jerky. I feel. I'm gonna do the mouth open and then do something at the front of it. Hello.
Hello.
Look how sad she is, Michael. She's so sad because she heard you coming down the stairs.
Oh. Very cruel. Hello, Chargin. Hello, Sunset. It's an odd stream.
I feel.
Oh. I need the big dirt. It's a good dirt. Lick that horse. There is smooching in this stream every time you guys call Big Dirt.
She smooches the glass.
Just the horse on the screen. But she's trying to. That's what you need. You need a book that just has dirt smooching with like the air. So that she can just be all the time. That'd be a good. What do you think, Chad?
Who's doing all the derbies for Michael?
No, those box derbies and boogie derbies. I'm okay. Has he put sleepy time card on the cart yet?
No.
Make it clear that they're not being super mean to the horsies.
I'm not being mean to the horses. You just need to get rid of them before they smell.
No, the horses, they already smell.
Okay.
I've been around horses much. I always am impressed during the, if you ever go to the, what is it now? I want to call it the fair, but it's like the festival, I call it.
Ren Fair?
No, not the Ren, bigger one.
The state fair.
Yeah, that one. I'm always impressed how clean they managed to keep the animals. And how clean they managed to keep the area around the animals. That must be like
They probably have to, or nobody would go there.
yeah, because it would just reek. And if you've ever been to like a county fair on the middle of the
And it's a contained room with like tons of different like breeds and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they would have to be cleaning that place constantly. They're brushing the cows the whole time.
yeah, and they got like a billion fans.
Yeah.
Gotta keep them cows cool. Cheers,
Yeah,
Tyrod.
keep flies away from them too. Like those cows are in cow bliss heaven.
I feel.
As people servants brush me and keep the flour in my poop.
Michael, when you go to the grocery store, do you buy yourself a special treat? He likes to buy himself like kids' drinks with horse heads on them.
Yeah,
I feel.
I got them all now. Good, because given that the final episode of G5 is tomorrow, it might not be on the shelf much longer. Not that I've kept up with the final season. That's kind of where I'm at, is I still haven't watched most of the final season of Gen. But I want to. Not like I'm sitting here like, oh, I don't need to watch it. I want to. I have to find the right time.
The right time.
Not the convenient time. It's not on the Plex. You need to get on that. That would make it way more convenient.
Do you mean the thing that hasn't finished yet?
Yeah.
That hasn't come out yet.
On YouTube.
Then go rip it and put it on the Plex.
Sounds sciencey.
It's an open network. You can literally access it, all the raw files, and just go and drop it
You're
in.
telling me I could upload everything and anything I want on.
I can also delete it and revoke access, so
Oh. I was gonna upload best videos. The entire YouTube catalog of Pony videos on the book. Make the show, put it on the plate. Yeah, that's what I've been saying, Silver. The only reason G4 ended is because this guy doesn't animate fast enough. He could have kept it going all by himself.
All it would have taken is my soul and my money.
Yeah, but what's
and my life and your life.
That is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Okay, Farquaad.
Yes. Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
That was God, who's the voice that did that? The guy from Third Rock.
Yeah. John Lovitz?
Yes, that sounds right.
No, that's not right.
No, it sounds right.
No, it's not.
Sure, but it's John Lovitz now.
It's not John Lovitz.
You said John Lovitz.
But it's not. I know who John Lovitz is, and that wasn't John Lovitz.
But then why'd you say John Lovitz?
Because he's kind of similar in his mannerisms.
Here's our prayer.
I used to know names. I don't know names anymore. John Lovitz.
I probably spelled it wrong. Oh, John Lovitz.
John Lovin. He's the Saturday Night Live. That's John Lovin.
How did you mix those two up?
Oh, look at. But he's older now. That's an old picture. Oh, John Lithgow. That's what it is.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
John. With an L.
Well, they all got old.
Yeah, except Fred Stewart. He looks okay.
Yeah.
And Jane Curtin doesn't look all that different.
I miss his like mannerisms. That was so good.
I feel.
It's a fun show. Which is also
Mm-hmm. And that one I did find fully.
John Lithgow is a great actor, but that's the only thing he's done super prominent.
You sure?
He's done movies, but he was. I don't think he was often.
Usually put in here like a best known for.
Memory of Two.
We did Broadway in 1972.
Yeah.
Dick Solomon was the Third Rock one.
All That Jazz. That sounds from.
Oh, he did Arthur Mitchell in the drama Dexter, and Dexter was a popular show.
Yeah.
He did Winston Churchill in The Crown. Oh, I didn't know that.
I haven't seen either.
The Crown, I went 4 seasons? 16, 17, 18, 19, yeah. And started in HBO's Perry Mason and FX's Old Man. I mean, The Crown was big and Dexter was pretty big.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but yeah.
Film roles, he did. He's still in movies. He did Leonardo DiCaprio one. I mean, he's not a like front named person, but
I like him.
he was in Interstellar.
He must have been like one of the.
Yeah, I mean, these are good movies. Shrek is. I mean, yeah, I've read his own, but.
I think I recall him in Interstellar. He was. But no, I'm thinking of something else. I don't.
We did Footloose.
Was he? I've never actually seen that film.
What was he in Footloose?
Maybe he was the dad who was angry about the music and the dance.
A teenager from Chicago who moves to a small town, when he attempts to overturn the ban of dancing institutions by the efforts of the local minister. He was actually
the minister.
He played a pretty important role.
I've never seen the film, so
I haven't either. I think I might have it though.
I am well aware of the film
I want to see a like super young version of him.
of John Lithgow and Footloose.
Oh, that was him.
He doesn't look that young.
No, actually, well, he looks so older, but he always kind of looked the same.
He's middle aged there.
But I mean, those are big movies.
Yeah, no, he's well known. He's just in a lot of stuff I haven't seen.
Oh, hello, Spider.
Blow me.
I blow him at the monitor. I blew him that way. I just didn't want to go in my cup. Yeah, go make the show and put it on Plex already. I can't even imagine how long it would take to make a 20-minute episode, seeing how long this takes him. But I'm doing this like a couple hours a week while distracted. Like, if I were to focus on like an animation 40 hours a week with a team, I mean, most episodes will probably take, what, 2 weeks?
Better plan. We locked you in here by yourself. We only give you food if you do for every 10 minutes of animation you do.
But most of those shows for television they don't have the time put into them that I would want to put into them.
Yeah, it's not about want. I'm going to lock you in here.
Oh. No, that's where you like Arcane. Arcane is a really good 3D show, but it's probably what, maybe 8 or 9 hours of content, but made over multiple years of probably very large teams of people. Things like that take time.
I think you could do it. And besides, you wouldn't have to write any of the material. I would write it all.
Well, at least it would be easy.
Yeah.
It would just be smooches.
Ponies.
All you need is 2 mares and a bed. And everyone would be like, didn't we already do that episode? Yes, but I want you to do it again.
Different mares.
But we're going to move the camera to the left.
Yeah.
Then the new episode. Can you add more smooches? The episode is literally 100% sports. More smooches.
That's why you have multiple.
I can now put a white hair guy in the back that's just staring at him with a cigarette.
Who would this be?
I don't know. I've said it once, say it again. 80s movies should be part of a standardized education. The one thing I appreciate about movies, probably from between the 80s and up to early 2000s, was like when it got into early computer graphics, maybe was their use of practical effects to try to make something work when they didn't have the technology to just kind of do it easy. Now that we have it, now you can just make anything work, and like, oh, you can't build a set, who cares, whatever, just green screen it and we'll make it work in post. Back then you had to make it work for real, and it was kind of neat to see the ways they did it, and they were able to hide some because like the lower fidelity of the televisions. But then you watch some of the redone versions, like when they go back to the original film and redo it, and it's like, holy crap, how did you guys do that?
Pretty off topic thing, but I was happy that something came in the mail today because I thought it wasn't gonna show up at all.
I saw you got something from Amazon.
Yeah, it took a long time. I'd given up on it, but it's a buffer for the scratches on the stove.
Oh, okay.
So I cleaned it with gusto and it scuffed it up. Patch it up. And the cycle continued. But that was I as you're planning on murdering her.
No, I'm already dead.
No.
I'm sad because I've lived too long.
She's like 40.
I require death card.
Again, she's like 40.
Put me with the cute mares.
Oh, that's fair.
How long do horses live, Michael?
Forever.
No.
40 would be extremely old for a horse.
I haven't saved 401k.
Okay.
So I must die now. This is how society works.
You own thousands of acres of land.
No, I spent it all on blackjack.
He is cute.
That's where Applejack got the name. Because he's not mine.
Wow. Makes so much sense.
She needs sense because she has no retirement fund. And having acres of land doesn't mean anything unless you sell it. What you're saying is that she has to sell all the land that she's trying to give to her kids.
I'm pretty sure she's actively farming most of it.
Yeah, well, no, they're too busy smooching.
That is true. That's why she has no money. She spent all of her time smooching. Like the fact that they have such a huge orchard that they can section off part of it just to let the fruit bats have at it. It doesn't really affect them. Like in some of the shots, if you see the apple orchard, it just sprawls off into. It doesn't seem to have an end.
So you're glad your panel didn't get accepted, or are you sad?
Mixed. I'm kind of happy I don't have to worry about it, but I did kind of want to do it.
Yeah, but it's when every day it got closer to the con, it's the more you don't want it to be accepted, because you're like, oh, this is getting kind of tight.
Well, I did the last one kind of on a tight schedule, so it was just kind of okay. My plan was to just not come to any more streams after starting this weekend. Like I would have not been sitting here accepted. I would be working on it until the con.
Bad Fanfic got accepted. It's on Friday though, but thankfully not super late. But it's 10:30 to midnight.
I think the big thing I want to do at this con is just not sit in the room the whole time. Like we
That's
did
a choice.
last time. Yeah.
Well, it's also because we're normally the last few I've had so much stuff that it's a thing to go do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I only have one this time too. But
I'm gonna make a point to like get out and see panels and stuff.
we're also back at the old hotel, which means it's a lot better socializing environment outside the room.
Yeah.
Before, the last hotel sucked for that.
Can we just stay in the hotel room?
But there was nowhere to socialize outside the hotel.
Yeah, well, I mean the lobby.
But the lobby kind of sucked. There was a lobby, but it wasn't that great. I like this one because it's open.
I just want to get to go to panels. I want to actually see the stuff other people have done.
Apparently, they have a secondary panel room on the first. No, I did say first floor. I have to double check. I thought it may have said second floor. I wanted to message. I think we're not in the small room. I think it's in the straight one. So I think it's 4 microphone, but I'm going to message them before accepting it to confirm because they screwed me 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row. Yeah, I'm going to double check that. I'm hoping to live long enough that AI will be able to replace characters in 70s, 80s, and 90s sitcoms with pony characters.
Right?
But why would you want to replace them? Why not just like make infinite new?
Ponies are better, and you can just make all your favorite things pony and make them even better.
So wait, so you're saying do you have favorite things that aren't pony?
I'm saying
that's what you just said.
I have things that I like.
No, you said you love.
No, I said they can do that.
You said you have favorite things. You can take the favorite things that you your favorite things and add pony.
Yeah,
that implies you have favorite things that don't currently have pony in it.
Trying to spread rumors.
No, you said that.
Imagine Bluey, but they were all ponies. Wouldn't it be like 1,000 times better?
No, because they're square. They look like llamas.
No, they would be like walk around like actual horses.
No, they would look like llamas.
AI would take care of all that so they wouldn't look like llamas.
They would definitely be llamas. But why don't you just like have it make something new? And you're like, it's called like Smooches 2. There's no first movie. This is the sequel.
It's like, because Bluey's pretty well written. It just has the problem.
Oh, you're saying you're bad at writing?
Yes.
But the AI will write it.
Yeah. It would get kind of samey.
Actually, there is a new feature, and I don't know
if I have to. If they were all pony.
If I have to update, and I'm probably not going to poke it now. There's a new feature on Adobe that will take a 2D vector and it will turn it into a 3D representation of that 2D vector that you can rotate. So you can take a vector, a perfectly flat thing, rotate it, and then get a new perspective on it. It was actually kind of crazy. I don't think it works for just 2D images. It's vectors, so it's specifically it already things that have bones, but it takes that whole structure and figures out what it should be in 3D. Then when you rotate it and put it there, it replaces it back as a 2D object, just as sharp as you originally had it.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
I've been seeing stuff like that. It's getting pretty crazy. I saw a picture of John Lennon, and they kind of did that, kind of rotated. And they just used a 2D photo of him, like his kid. Kind of crazy. You do kind of lose the fact that that photo is not actually of him. It's just an AI's reinterpretation of a single image.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still neat.
Any new good flavors at Sociables? I thought there was one recently that we had there that was really good.
There was, but I can't remember what it was. I'm drawing a blank. I know there was one we all agreed we liked.
Yeah, I think... You know what? I have a can of it. I forgot. I completely forgot.
Wow. It's not like that much. He's gone. He's gonna get hammered now. How's chat doing? Are you thinking to yourself, wow, we took one of the Paw Patrol films, like got the raw copy of the file and just replaced all the models with ponies? It would be a good film and we'd actually could watch it. I am. Oh, that's right. That one was good.
Strawberry rhubarb. Forgot I got one of these. I saw it in the fridge like last week.
Are you about to drink it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want some?
No. That's yours. Not that I don't. It's
Like-
yours.
This comparison.
It's big.
Because these are like half cans.
Yeah.
And this is a double can, normal can. So these are like 3 times bigger.
There are plenty of ways for me to get hammered tonight if I want to.
I like the idea of
So it's not Friday. That's what makes getting hammered a little more difficult.
there.
Much easier to recycle now. It's a pure aluminum can now.
You can be strawberry rhubarb.
Really, I think that's what most canning companies should be doing.
Can't eat. Yeah, but that's not pretty.
Because it's 100% recyclable now. The sticker makes it pretty as long as you take the sticker off. It's just expensive to do it this way.
No, these are huge cans. But they can it on site, so they actually it's like $10 for a can, but I mean it is big. But they will you take everything right off a tap and put it right into a can.
This you can't really recycle and oh, your towel.
I didn't think it would spill. It's big can. Mostly got it on me. I have plastic under here. All my money wasted. I'm thinking designing a sound setup for a conference room is challenging. I can see why they pay audio engineers. We have some really fancy no paper towels? Afterwards. We have really fancy setup at work with their main room has like if you go on a conference call, it has a camera that will look at the whole room, but if anybody starts talking, it can be set up to like literally based on the audio in the room find that person and focus in on them, and it will also if the oh thank you if the room has no, I just got it on my leg. That's fine. Thank you. Where if somebody starts talking in the room, the audio will actually centralize itself to that person, even though it's a whole room. It will pinpoint that person, amplify their voice to the room, and then make sure that they're heard specifically on the call and not background noise. It's actually kind of, that's getting like crazy expensive, like, oh, but it's neat. Oh, this smells so good. It's like kind of more rhubarb than strawberry, but not in a bad way. Beamforming, very nice. Definitely 3,000. Oh no, we're talking, I think that setup is close to 6 digits. I work for a very fancy company. That's their we need to impress room. I mean, they have senators come by sometimes. So yeah, they want to impress. And so they go very, very fancy. All the rest of the rooms have some kind of stuff, but not that fancy.
Our boss's wife came to our place today. It's nearly as cool.
Your boss?
His wife.
Oh, well, who cares about your boss's wife?
Maybe some of us could our own kind of fancy.
You mean the first lady?
Mm-hmm. Here you go.
How does the rhubarb taste? It's the strawberry rhubarb. The reason I like it is it's more rhubarb than strawberry. So because Sociables isn't where you go to get a sweet cider, it's where you go to get a low sugar, about as close to a healthy cider as you can. It's all Their thing is more natural stuff in there. So the strawberry in there isn't very sweet. It's more of like a rhubarb with some strawberry in there too. And I like that because it doesn't then overpower you by being super sweet. It's kind of mellow. You could drink a lot of it and not get like burnt out on it.
That reminds
I like it a lot. But that smell though, oh, it smells so good.
In regards to sugar, pick chips and ice cream count.
I picked up butter pecan yesterday.
Oh.
I went through. I was some of the different ice creams there, and I was gonna try Blue Bunny one,
Yeah,
but it was
sure.
clear container, and you could look in there that it was like chopped up pecans.
Yeah.
No, like the
Why would you want whole pecans? You're not gonna just get a pecan.
no, because they're like the tiny little pieces.
Yeah.
The big pecans, and then when you get to a pecan, you get pecan flavor hit real hard, where the tiny little bits are trying to mix the flavor in, and I don't like that. I like having the big contrast of different flavors.
Blue Bunny's
Breyers is way better for their butter pecan.
okay.
I mean, there's probably other ones too, but for, Blue Bunny was about the same price, and I just looked at the container and nope.
I got Walmart brand ice cream.
No,
You'll eat it.
they're fine.
Hey, with that word again.
Yeah, and it's truthful here that I'm lying. Okay, I think
I had to purchase the honey I need for my mead this weekend online today. I have it at the store. The Walmart brand honey was too expensive. It was like $5 more than the honey I used to use.
why does this look so weird? It feels like overly lined. There. Normally, it's pretty easy to see what I have to blend. Whatever.
I'm playing with this. I'm sorry. You gave it to me. See what has happened?
This aluminum label too. Oh, I missed.
Yeah.
I stopped bringing my, what do they call this? The growler to sociables because I just wasn't really interested in getting stuff for a while. And then this last time I wished I would have had it. That's why I got 2 cans. But it ended up costing more than just getting a growler.
Yeah, you definitely save some money with the growler.
Well, the growler, when you buy the growler, it's pretty expensive the first time because you're getting a growler. But the next time you're there, you can bring the growler with, and they'll just fill that back up.
Yep.
And it's significantly cheaper because all it is pure liquid. They're not selling you a can. They're not selling you anything else.
Anybody who does any kind of bottling knows that the most expensive part of anything is the bottle itself.
Half the can filled me up to about there. So like that's a chunky boy.
I never had rhubarb just by itself. It's always with strawberry or in a pie or something.
You never had a rhubarb pie?
No, yeah, but it's in a pie. And I've only ever had strawberry rhubarb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just a rhubarb pie.
Yeah, no, I've never done that.
No, I don't know if I have. I maybe have, and I just don't remember it. But also, when you're a kid, pure rhubarb pie would probably be disgusting. Nowadays, I probably would like that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, it's like, no, I want my juice and I want my Twinkie, and
I mean, I think they'd still like it if it was loaded with sugar, but which pie generally is.
that's like I like pecan pie, but all pecan pie is pecan and a buttload of sugar.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what's a good pie that doesn't have a crap ton of sugar in it? Pumpkin. Some of us like pumpkin because it doesn't have a crap ton of sugar. Like most pies. Not to say it doesn't have sugar, it has sugar.
Carrot cake.
Carrot cake's good.
Carrot cake's good. And you still got frosting on top, but like a pumpkin pie, depending, is gonna have whipped cream or something.
I was gonna say you claim that carrot cake isn't actually carrot cake unless it has cream cheese frosting.
It's so good with the cream cheese, though.
Yes. Still carrot cake without the frosting. Not good. Not as good. Actually, I've had carrot cake with a coconut frosting before, and I like that. It's kind of a weird combo, but I like coconut. But eats.
I'm with most people in that I don't have a problem with the flavor of coconut. I have a problem with the texture of coconut.
Most people. I think most people like coconut.
But it's just anything with coconut in it tends to have like that kind of squeaky between your teeth, like almost like, or maybe chalky something. It's just something about the coconut texture that I don't like. The flavor of it, like coconut juice and stuff, or like when I make curry, it's with coconut milk in there. Perfectly fine with that. But it's just coconut itself. And I mean, it's not like I hate it. If I have like what's one of the the Almond Joys, they have coconut. Like that's fine, but I'm not gonna like out of a picking of candy bars pick that one. It's like
that used to be my favorite when I was a kid.
Well, yeah, but you were sad as a kid.
When I was living on my own, I was one of the weirdos. You know how they have coconuts at the grocery store? You're like, what weirdos are just buying coconuts? I was one of the weirdos because I would just crack open a coconut with a hammer at my house and then grab a butter knife and then chip away pieces of coconut and eat it over time. The cool thing about coconut is it can hold up. Like, it would not go bad very quick, even opened. I think I would spend a week on it sometimes, just keeping it by my computer and chipping pieces off.
Well, maybe you gotta put the lime in the coconut.
Drink it all up?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I don't think I've had one since moving here.
Well, you're in Minnesota.
No, they have coconuts.
That's about as far as possible from natural coconut as possible.
Yeah, they have coconuts at Walmart.
Well, yeah, they can.
Yeah. What do you think? They're non-natural coconuts?
No, I mean they don't travel by truck. They launch them out of cannonball as a cannonball over cross country, and the amount of birds they hit just increases with distance.
They tie them to birds.
Oh.
Yeah. They traverse them. But like coconuts, I think are just naturally resilient to. They don't need refrigeration, and they'll just. That's why they're everywhere, even if people don't. Like you can probably put one on a shelf, and it's good for a month. Because their whole structure is built to be able to bob around in the ocean and then be fine once they reach like a foreign shore.
Bananas are always the one that is crazy to me, how cheap they are.
Yeah.
Because they're like, for the travel and the time and everything for bananas, and then you can go and buy a whole bushel for like $1.50.
Because they grow so freaking quick.
But still, transport alone.
Yeah.
Transport the person that has to take that box, then bring it to the shelf and unload it. Like, I feel like bananas aren't a moneymaker. They're something that people go to the store to pick up, and while they're there, get other things.
We have to think, like any other fruit that grows on a tree, it can take like 5 years before we can actually expect any kind of harvest. Banana plants grow in like a year.
Well, but okay, so like a banana costs, say, like 20 cents.
Yeah.
That banana has to be...
Where are you getting 20-cent bananas?
20-cent bananas? A bushel is like 6 bananas, and it's about $1.50. So yeah, maybe
okay.
20. Say it's a quarter.
Okay.
But that banana still has to be picked somewhere, not in the U.S.
Yeah.
Picked somewhere, brought to a boat, or processed, packaged, put on a boat, brought to the U.S. where it is unpackaged, and then brought to a distribution center where it is then unpackaged again to be put on a truck to be brought to another location that probably is going to go through that whole process again before eventually being going to the grocery store where somebody has to pull it off the truck, put it on a shelf, then pull it out and put it on the outer counter. That's so many steps for a banana that's 20 something cents.
Yeah.
That's crazy cheap.
Yeah. But they come in their own casings.
Yes, but they also still
it's like oranges.
I mean, some of them that are ripe in just in a couple days change. Like they probably were picked within a day or two, like probably within a couple days.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably were picked green and then just shoved in with some nitrogen gas. But
yeah, absolutely. Keep them.
But still, Bananas are, to me, one of the cheapest and best snacks you can buy. Because if I could eat a banana for breakfast and be good for a good portion of the day, and that is cheap.
I want her to try to bite Applejack to escape. I just feel like she wouldn't give her. Oh. Like, this is why you're going on the cart. Josh is like, he's gumming. What's happening? Ooh. Tongue fell out of her head.
She's one of those types of moms.
Oh no.
Like, her ears are dirty. I'm gonna. They're earth ponies. What else are they gonna do? Use their hooves?
Yeah, that'd be weird.
And they say don't put Q-tips in your ears because you'll do damage. But if you try to shove a hoof in,
I clear my ears out every morning.
I do, if only water, but it's because I have such sensitive ears.
No,
I
no
will get.
No, I've had pretty nasty infections. I don't want them again.
Mm-hmm. But I don't get earwax.
No.
No, I rarely get. If I don't do anything with my ear for like say 2 weeks, and then I go and like do a cleaning, it's still nothing on there. I don't get earwax, but that's probably why I have problems with my ears, because there's just nothing in there to save me from stuff. I have I get any water in my ear. If I go out like in the winter, I can get an ear infection from any water in my ear. That's why I'm like big on, once it gets to a certain temp, I'm always wearing a hat if I go outside. Even going to work, I've been putting my hood on, even though it's like 50 maybe. It's still cold enough that I don't want my ears exposed.
As it might appear to look at me, if I don't clean my ears pretty regularly, they get all clogged up with earwax. And any doctor would be like, earwax is good, it's protecting your ears.
There's a certain amount, yes,
it's bothersome.
But I get none.
Yeah,
literally none. I could go 6 months and I would have nothing on my Q-tip.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but I think there's like a small little tubular thing in the ear that I think it's supposed to be that mine is smaller than normal. It's more constricted, and that causes bacteria to build up. And then say I get sick and I put a lot of pressure through my head, it can clear that out, but then it throws all the bacteria into my eardrum, and that's where I get infections. It's really annoying.
The worst ear infection I had was right after I moved here, which at the time I thought, look, they think I'm just always going to be sick and on the couch and shit. Because I had such a nasty ear infection that I was lying on the couch and I was putting hydrogen peroxide in my, try to kill any infection, and just lying there, which was causing its own problems in hindsight. But I did manage to kill the infection with a lot of effort. I think I had that infection for like 2 weeks before it finally subsided, but that was a nasty.
I always have concerns of an infection of your ear, if left untreated for too long, can cause hearing damage. And I'm big on, like, as soon as there's a certain feeling in my ear that if I get it, I'll immediately go in. And like, I almost got this last bit because my ears popped the one day and I'm like, okay, that's step one. And then the next day they felt hollow. But then it got to a point of I had difficulty hearing for a few days, which meant that was good. It meant that it closed up. And I was like, okay, I'm good. But if there's a certain point where there's a sting at a certain part in the ear, and if I feel it at all, I'll go in. It always means ear infection. I usually get one every couple of years.
Yeah. I won't really.
Or I had the one that it spread from my ears to my eyes. And then
that's rough.
That was, could barely open my eyes. They were completely crusted shut.
Yeah, like pink eye?
No, it was, but the ear infection actually spread to my eyes. It probably was from the fluid, eventually got mixed into my eye. And so I mean, you could call it pink eye, but like, you know, the crusties that you get in the morning sometimes, you get like, oh, right there. It had completely encased my eye.
Yeah, that's why happens when you get pink eye.
Yeah, but both eyes.
Yeah.
And to like horrible degree. And the doctor was originally like, before the eye infection, was like, oh, we don't want to overprescribe antibiotics, so we'll just see how it goes. And then by Monday, I was that bad, and it was
fish pills. if
No.
that ever happens again.
I don't want to eat fish.
No, there's no fish in the fish pills. They're just for fish and people.
No, they're for fish, and then you just added people.
I scratched out the for fish and put people pills. Dr. Michael, he's gonna fix you up. Boom, boom, boom.
See the large lump inside your brain? You mean my brain? When I search all that, my brain? Yes. No, that's a small thing down here. The big lump is a lifetime of earwax. No, I don't know. Like, it's crazy how everybody gets earwax and complains of earwax or something, and I literally have none. Maybe on a rare occasion I'll have like a tiny strip of something yellow, and that's it. There's nothing. But I'm also big on every day.
I'm pretty sure I've ruptured my eardrum with my aggressive earwax cleaning before.
Oh no, I go in only to a certain point to get the water out, because as far as water goes in, and I never go further because I don't want to do that.
I've cleared my ears out with hydrogen peroxide, so I've gone aggressive. Don't do that. Not a good idea. Works. Don't do it. If you get rid of all of the earwax, it can cause its own kind of problem.
Yeah, earwax has a purpose.
It does.
But humans aren't really meant to live must patch probably their 30s. Yeah. So things just start getting weird.
Things get difficult after a certain point. Certain bodily functions just go into overdrive. Break down. Oh, just find myself a nice pasture to lie down in.
They thought I had an ear infection. Turned out it was TMJ. Oh, I definitely have TMJ. It's gotten worse. I've been wanting to go in for it.
No more of your jaw locking up.
Oh no, all the time, daily.
Like
not like that. Well, no, that wasn't a lockup. That was locked open.
Yeah.
But that was because I dislocated my jaw, and then relocated
but you were
immediately.
Just eating.
Yeah, that's TMJ. Yeah, I was eating something and wasn't paying attention, and with TMJ, your jaw can kind of get stuck, and you can kind of like click it back out and you're fine. But if you push past that, it will cause your jaw to dislocate. And I wasn't paying attention, and it dislocated and immediately popped back in. But in doing so, it caused inflammation within the joint, and I was not able to shut my mouth. So I could still talk like normal, it looked normal, but I wasn't able to actually put my teeth together. I could get it to about almost two together, but then it would stop. And it felt like my mouth was shut when it wasn't. It lasted 2 days, and then it went away.
It was like 3 or 4 days after I moved here too. Like,
not 3 or 4, but it was pretty quick afterwards.
It was pretty quick. And then I was like, well, he's just out.
Yeah, that was rough. But my mom had said that when I was young, they said based on a certain thing with my jaw that I was going to develop TMJ when I was older, and that they could fix it by breaking my jaw and resetting it at that point, which would cause other potential future issues. And my mom said she decided that whether or not that is she didn't want to make that decision for me, so she did nothing. She just said leave it, and then because either he's going to have to deal with this future issue or this future issue. So she did the one that probably was the trolley problem it's the one of, do you let him deal with the one problem, or do I pull the switch and have him now do the other one? But now I'm the one that chose that route.
Yeah, but at the same time, doing that when you're younger is probably better because you'll heal quicker.
Maybe.
You would heal slow now with being an old man.
Well, they're not going to probably break my jaw. Now it's just dealing with it.
It's just dealing with it.
So,
you're too old.
But yeah, there was a whole bunch of complications that were going to come with it, potentially being like permanent damage from breaking it. And she was like, no. And I can't blame her on that. It probably would have been the same decision I would have made.
One of my brothers had an overbite so bad that he did choose when he was like a teenager to have his jaw broken and reset. And of my 2 brothers, his overbite is not as bad as the others. Still kind of is. They had wicked over. Yeah, like any picture of them, but like 13 or younger, just you can just see their teeth.
I had a bit of overbite, but they ended up taking out 2 teeth. Two of my, because like you have your molars, then you have your front teeth, and then you usually have 2, like between your main molars and your canine tooth, you have 2 other smaller molars.
Yeah.
I only have 1 on both, and so they took them both out, and then they jammed all my teeth together, and then they took up my wisdom teeth too. So technically, I'm missing 6 teeth in total. But in doing so, that helps correct the overbite, because by doing it when I was young, the way the teeth would have been set up meant that over time my jaw just kind of naturally reset. And yeah, it's not bad. But the braces were rough because it ended up leading me to getting a root canal in my front tooth, because that tooth, this front tooth was really far in.
Yeah.
And the one next to it was kind of far out. So they settled that, but it ended up causing damage to the root by the time I turned. It was probably 30. That root died from all the damage. So that tooth is now dead. Been for that way for 10 years.
Has it affected anything? No.
No, they said it might darken.
Yeah.
No. It's this tooth. It's been 10 years. You wouldn't even notice. It doesn't feel any different to me. So
yeah,
it felt different at first.
Yeah.
Well, hello, so kitty.
To get that derpy sandwich.
To eating that sandwich.
I would say I have a lot of physical and health problems throughout my life, but my teeth are not one of them. I even had a dentist ask me one time if I had worn braces, because my teeth are perfectly straight. I got one good thing, and that was a solid set of chompers.
So when you die and then they look at the grave, they dig up the grave in the future, they're like, man, this guy had a rough life, but his teeth are fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wow, look how straight they are. I've had 1 tooth removed, and it was a wisdom tooth, and I just had it.
So you don't want some? You want the rest?
You're offering me gold, sir. I'll take the rest.
It's really good.
I'm gonna drink it out of this can, though.
Oh, I thought you were gonna pour it in the other can for a second. Oh my god,
like a mess.
No, I mean I took more than half the can as it is.
What was your can to take? So
I'm good. Those are your Trulies, I think. I drink some of those too.
I make lots of stuff. I have all that meat I need to start drinking. The nice thing is I got super hammered last time I drank that mead, but no hangover whatsoever in the morning.
I was going to ask you about after Jackbox because you drink a lot.
Yeah, but no hangover at all.
No,
there was none. Even I was like, holy shit, how'd that happen? Like, I went to work fine the next morning. I've actually never had a hangover from my mead. I don't know if it's just the way I make it, or if it's just like a purity thing or something.
It could be a purity thing, just like all the other crap that's in something.
Yeah.
I mean, or maybe you're just immune to methanol.
Maybe I just have a better process in a lot of places. I did order the honey for the next batch, and I'm just going to do it the way I know it works. No more experimenting. I'm done experimenting. I found out what does and doesn't work. It's time to just make
Yeah, I feel like you were experimenting to such a degree that you were starting to lose track of what not experimenting was.
I know. Well, I tried the farmer's market honey because it was the better honey, quote unquote, but it just kept getting... The first batch...
But you don't know if that was... You need to almost have some of the smaller stuff just so you can try little sub-tests.
It's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
To be doing little tiny batches all.
Better than losing it all.
Yeah, I had to pour 2 batches down the sink because one batch was just way too dry, and I could have saved that, but I was being overly critical. And then the next batch was just straight up contaminated, and that was the farmer's market stuff.
Yeah, I suddenly smelt a stench of dirt, looked out the window, and it started pouring rain outside. The smell of like dirt in rain is good. It's not always a great smell, but there's something about it that's refreshing.
It's earthy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's more earthy than like it feels.
It makes you go lots of dust in the air. When it rains, you get the smell of foul mud. Okay, maybe that's different. You probably don't. When is the monsoon season? That's spring, right? In Los Angeles, brake dust. Yeah, I will. I'm happy. I love our state. I used to kind of get to the point of like I just wanted to get out of here, but after seeing a lot of the United States, no, I'm good.
I have learned in my travels that people in different regions think other people complain for the slightest things. Like, ice up here is very different than ice in Kentucky. Up here, it's snow most of the time. Or if
It's slush.
ice,
It's slush and black ice.
Yeah.
We don't really get ice on the roads. They're pretty good about that stuff, but there's certain temps where just ice does nothing.
Yes.
So then you got to worry about that shit. Or if it's slushy, well, slush to me is more dangerous than ice.
yeah. But in Kentucky, if it's ice. You're driving across an ice lake, essentially, that the roads have turned into that surf.
Yeah, we don't get that kind of ice. We get we don't get ice that you can see. We get ice you don't see, but you usually know it's there because of the temp. If it's like -15, there's black ice. Even if you can't, if the road is clear, still be careful.
Yeah, like in Kentucky, you can have tiny stretches of road, and it doesn't look like much is on it. Then you see a semi-truck just drifting off into a ditch. It's different. And it's kind of similar in California. When you get rain and everybody's slipping around, it's like, why are they slipping around? It's just rain. It's because it rains like once every 3 months, and the oil on the roads has just been built up. And now this bit of rain has brought it all up. And now everything's in.
Or when I worked in trucking, there was once we were sending some stuff down to Houston, and a driver was trying to do some stuff down there, but they shut down the whole city because they got ice in Houston.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. So they don't have the infrastructure to handle it. So a little bit of ice will shut the whole city down, where anywhere else, a little bit of ice is the norm. People are kind of used to it, but at least they have the trucks, the sand, the salt, and the roads are set up to not be so crowned. They're going to be, it's going to be built for it. But those cities that aren't built for it, yeah, it gets rough. But yeah, we get...
By having a lot of infrastructure, critical.
I don't like driving if it's anything below 0, because like, for one, it's already cold. There's the chance for black ice, and if you do lose control, then you are in a dangerous position because of how cold it is.
Yeah.
So there's the whole thing of, if it's winter in Minnesota, you should have an emergency box in your car of like maybe oil and stuff, but it's mainly gloves, blanket, flares, something in your car, so that if your car crashes and it's going to be a while, you have something to keep warm, because your gas isn't going to, maybe your car's not able to run, and if it gets cold, you're going to lose any heat in your car is going to go real quick. You need blankets, you need gloves, you need something, because you're going to, even if your car was warm, within an hour, it's going to be frigid in there. You're going to start having frostbite issues. Yeah.
You're going to open up my emergency box, it's just going to have a pony inside, and you're going to be like, what is this? Like, that's the emergency pony.
It keeps my heart warm.
Yes. So that I will be happy upon death.
Yeah, I need to get my emergency box back in my car. I used to always have gloves in there, but I don't think I even had any last year. I need to put it back in there.
My emergency box is mostly about getting my car running again.
I'm more worried about surviving. But I remember Minnesota things. I was pulling, I think, out of my parents' place the one time, and it was snowing pretty hard. And there was a guy that had went off in the ditch right in front of where I was pulling out. And I just before I pulled out, I turned a little bit because nobody was coming, and I opened the window, and the guy's just in his car, and I'm like, you need any help? And he was just puts on his phone, he's over, goes, nah, I'm good. And he was like literally like in the ditch sideways. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, okay.
He's got to take care of it.
It's just because like, it happens once a year. I'm in a ditch. It's funny. Or my brother had it where his car got, he drove a Bronco, and the car got stuck, and so they called a tow truck, and the tow truck pulled him out, but in doing so, the tow truck got stuck. So then they turned around and then pulled the tow truck out of the ditch. It was very Minnesota things.
Yeah. One thing I kind of miss about driving in the boonies of Kentucky is Kentucky's a very hilly place. A lot of gullies compared to Minnesota. So there'd be these long stretches out in the middle of nowhere that I would drive some night, where it was just down in a gully and no radio signals. And back when I was a kid, the only real music I had in my car was the AM/FM radio. So there would just straight up be those horror movie moments where it's pitch black and the radio cuts out and you're just driving down this road of nowhere through some ghost town that everyone left years ago. Miss that. An air of spookiness about it. Oh, I was thinking about that today. I don't get that here so much. Too flat.
Speaking of spooky,
Speaking of spook. Actually, you want a ghost fact? The reason the radio's cut out in those areas isn't because it's in the gullies. That's where ghosts come. That's why it's extra spooky. Like in the areas that the radio cuts out, oh, you got ghosts. So that's why the horror movies are just facts. When they do that, when they're driving and the radio cuts out, and then all of a sudden they get attacked. Ghosts. Now you know. If you're ever driving along a highway, radio cuts out and it gets really quiet. I hate to tell you. Oops.
do you remember the horror movie Jeepers Creepers?
I am aware of its existence, but I've never seen it.
It's all based on the song.
Jeepers.
It's supposed to be like some, I would kind of consider it like It,
Okay.
where there was like some creature that could take different forms, and it was kind of creepy and like whatever, but it would kind of utilize one of the ones it did with scarecrows. But it was like anytime it was going to attack, Jeepers Creepers would come on the radio, which I don't know why it did that.
I like the song.
I don't get it. But it ended up being kind of a like a space horror thing on Earth, whatever, but like in farmland. But yeah, that was that's kind of movie I think of with that too. It's like,
Yeah. I remember seeing
Spooks.
that one on the shelves of our local video store, so that's an older film.
oh yeah,
The VHS tapes. Kids, can you say VHS? It was a horrible way to watch movies in retrospect, but it was all we had. Tracking.
no, back then it was awesome.
Well, yeah.
And like I remember getting my first DVD player and then watching it on a nicer TV, and I was like, holy crap, this looks amazing. And DVD is $4.80. Like thinking about it nowadays, like when I watch on our TVs, I mean, it wasn't as big of a TV. I mean, if you watch 480 at 480 like small resolution, it looks really good.
Yeah.
So I mean, that might be part of it too, but now what a lot of the stuff we have is DVDs on the Plex, and you can definitely tell they're DVD. But I have found that Blu-ray 1080 is perfectly fine. Anything past that, I don't see a need for anymore. Yeah. 4K is nice for like video games and stuff, maybe, but for TV and video, only reason I like UHD is because it has HDR.
Yeah.
I don't care about 4K video. If you were to put 4K at me sitting on a couch with the TV like whatever distance away, I would not be able to tell the difference between 1080 and 4K.
I like having a 4K monitor, and I can tell the difference.
But a monitor is different. For like PC stuff, sure. Yeah. But also you're doing a 4K monitor at that distance, you're already well within this pixel radius as well. Yeah. But a 4K TV is like 10 feet away. If your TV was 10 feet away for your computer, you probably wouldn't tell the difference. But you're not. You're like 3 feet away, maybe.
This feels a lot like the old man argument, like TVs were fine. I didn't need to change them.
No, it's just the distance between the distance. If I can't tell the difference, it doesn't matter.
It's because you wear your glasses.
No, even when I'm wearing my glasses. It's just between 480 and 1080. Yes, there is a difference. But the other one, no. But I like having HDR, and HDR doesn't pop up in regular Blu-rays. You have to get UHD.
Sitting over here like, I can't tell the difference between the resolution of the 1080 and the radio.
No, it's just more of, there's no benefit to it because you're eating, like, at least if I were to well, actually, a lot of the 4K movies take up less space on H.265 compared to AV1 or 264 on the Blu-ray drives. but it just doesn't matter. It's just more processing, more other stuff. It just, I don't see the need. Plus, most TVs do artificial upscaling. So 1080 to 4K, it's probably going to make it almost 4K anyway. 480 to 4K, there's probably not enough data, and it's going to get a little mushy or weird looking. You can't upscale, like, it's one of the argument of where there's somewhere in between that something has to lie. And if you have a video that's 16 by 9 pixels, literally 16 by 9 pixels, and 4K, that you can't upscale that to make it work. So there means that somewhere in the middle there is where it's great, and there's also a lot of bad. And so at what point do you go up from there that it actually starts looking good? And 480 isn't it. 1080, 100%. I think it's perfectly fine. I just don't see the need. Most of the, like, now I've been trying to doing it, like if I rip movies or whatever, I've been just kind of ripping them in 1080 with HD or something, because I just don't see the need.
Yeah, I can tell the difference, but
again, you're sitting, even if you're on the couch though, you're not going to tell the difference.
Yeah,
between 4K and 1080.
And they got the 8K now.
No, 8K is even more useless. The only time 8K can be useful is if, like, if I had this whole wall be 8K, sure, because for distance, whatever. But if they have all those calculators for like,
yeah,
I think for ratings was pretty good. Yeah, so like, where should you sit? And yeah, so this is like how far you should sit. So it, like, the living room TV that we have is 65. That's 9.1 feet. Our seating is further than that. So that means it's pretty much fine. It's saying that if you're under 9.1 feet, you're going to, you could start seeing the actual individual pixels. We have the 85 downstairs too. And the seating that we have set down there, if you're at the farthest point for seating, is just around 12 feet. That's why I was like, that's the biggest size to get there, because that's how far to go away. But your monitor, you have a 43, it's I think. 40. No, it's I think a 48. It's saying 6.7 feet, and you're closer to like 3 feet.
Probably less.
So yes, at that distance, 4K is a big difference, because otherwise you're already well within its pixel density radius.
I need to be close to the horses.
My Vizio TV does a simulated 120 hertz refresh rate when it's only 60. I do not like smooth stuff.
I do. I
hate it.
I like it.
No.
Actually, after the eye thing recently, I can't stand not having it.
I mean, I can understand. Okay, for you, sure. But I don't like it.
For you and your weird crap.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Giz likes it. Giz likes the smoothing.
So much stuff. I like consistency and smoothing. It's smooth sometimes and not other times. And his argument for it is when you have smooth pans, they tend to feel a little like out of pace. And I know why it does that.
It's jittery without.
It's not that it's jittery. It's that the camera's panning. They probably recorded it at one frame rate and then exported it in another. And when doing so, it feels that way because within each 1 second of whatever, it just meant that it's trying to catch up with the different frames.
It's nauseating. It's hard to focus.
I don't like the smooth pan effect. And yes, it does help with that. But if a movie itself is exported in higher, it's just, that's not enough to carry.
Get with the times, old man. Future is now.
It also just it gives that soap opera effect I don't like. But we have our big TV, our 85 does 4K 120 natively, which needs special cables to do something like that over the distance I have it run. But it looks really good then.
It could not do it without fiber optic.
But I really can't tell. There's just smoothing when I turn gaming mode on. It's just most of the smoothing, it's trying to figure out what the next frame is, but if something moves quick enough, it can't figure it out, or it can get confused. And TV versions of it are pretty good, but even then, certain fast motion then can actually suddenly feel weird or artificial or stuttery. And then that's immersion breaking. And while there might be benefits to it, I don't like that break in immersion. I don't want it.
It's hard for me to focus on it now without it. So I almost have to have it on by default. Giz said he prefers it because he noticed the jitteriness too before.
Well, and it's the slow pan stutter.
Yeah,
but slow pans are not used all the time.
they're used pretty often.
But even then, like, it annoys me. But then I get to spend the rest of the time with the other stuff. I saw the old Rudolph stop motion animation. The smoothing made it unbearable to watch.
What's that face? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Nightsky, have you decided what movie we're gonna watch at your place? It's gotta be a Halloween film.
She wanted to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think that was her
I've already
recommendation.
watched it all together.
Yeah, but
Okay. Fair, fine. I'm not gonna diss Tim Curry. I'm not gonna say.
are you talking trash about Tim Curry in a
No,
dress?
I'm not talking about Tim Curry in a dress. There's actually a really cool Halloween thing he did that we'll have to watch. It's like on YouTube. It's not new, but it's new. Guess it's a vampire. But I say we just like wallow ourselves in Jim Curry.
Jim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Who is Jim Curry?
Tim Curry and Jim Carrey merged into a single being.
Merge of Jim Curry.
What other like spooky stuff has he been in? Cut Legend, I guess, kind of counts. He no, spooky.
I would say then that we want to watch, but I just Battle Geese. I'm thinking that's not correct, but no. I mentioned you can rent it now, so I was just making mention of it.
That would be cool. You still need to find not Rocky Horror. No, you need to find Little Shop of Horrors. That is the one movie I really want on the planet.
When you thrift, you can't go there with a specific title in mind and find it.
Canada. What's that one place? It's more of a bookstore.
Half price books.
Yeah, I bet you could find it there.
I only check the discount aisle, so I could probably find it if I go down the normal aisle, but then that usually costs 2 to 3 times as much. I check clearance because they're $3 each. I'm not going to be able to build a movie collection with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of movies, all buying them for $20 each.
I want that.
Go buy it then.
It costs money. I'm but a poor boy from a poor family. I love that film. Not the story's good, the movie's good, but the puppetry in that film is bar none the best of any film. Period.
I feel like we're so spoiled by 3D that when we see something like that, we're just like, oh, I've seen better, but it's all practical, and that's what makes it crazy. Yeah, you have to put your mind in a different time.
Like, I think I saw like the behind the scenes that it took like 5 people to control that puppet, all working in like a choreography.
Well, they could have just made a man-eating plant, and then it would have been so much easier.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, spoilers.
It's only been, I think they did a 3rd film. But
Oh wow, Michael, look, just so sad.
No. Is that horse? Yes, sir. Lick the pear butter.
Where'd you go? What she went to go find?
Go find Derby, get more smooches.
Because she's sad she is.
I know, she's over sad. She's puppet sad. Because she become a puppet. So sad. Watching the Gundam. I've never seen anything but the first one. I've seen Mobile Suit Gundam, and that is it.
Gundam Requiem for Vengeance. Wow, they started running out of names.
Yeah.
Gundam Darkness Interlude 12.
Mobile Suit Gundam had that jank animation similar to Speed Racer. So, but it was good. It was fun.
I remember watching one of them. When they had like the space continents, where it was like all the continents were in space, and each of them were kind of racist on how they determined what countries had what. I remember watching that one. That was pretty good. I forgot what that was. Was that Mobile Suit? I can't remember.
I can't remember that much about Mobile Suit. I remember watching it and kind of turning my brain off while it was off. It was pretty simple. It's like people kept attacking, the evil guys kept attacking them, fighting them off with this one mobile suit that they had. This was the first. That nobody else had mobile suits. They had something similar, but they weren't mobile suits. It's kind of like how the first Armored Core game, there was very few Armored Cores and everybody else was using MT. It's kind of like that. And some MTs kind of looked like Armored Core units, but they weren't. Kind of nerding Armored Core, but I know he gets it.
Armored Core's on sale right now.
We have it. Oh.
No, we don't.
Oh no, I was thinking the original Armored Core.
I've been waiting for a 50% off, and the new sale is 40.
If you had the original Armored Core down here, I would totally boot that.
I don't know about original.
The original's the nostalgic one for me.
46. It's close.
Oh wow, that's actually the first time I've seen it even on sale.
No, it hit 40% before, but I have the big Green Man Gold account.
Yeah, you do.
So it's 46% off.
I wonder what it's on Steam right now.
40. I was messaged about it.
I do want to play that one. I just want to finish up Satisfactory before I think of anything else. We gotta get that 6% more.
It's always about that. It's usually between 6 and 12% more. 49%. I said 50% was my buy limit.
I will hand you a penny, sir.
No, it's 59 cents. It's stupid.
There's been a
I got the 20% off.
A Susan B. Anthony dollar sitting upstairs. I think it's mine. It makes sense that it's mine, but I don't know for sure that it's mine. So I haven't touched it.
It's kind of tempting, and Nice, you might know better on this. At the thrift store today, somebody had framed 2 bills and a couple different coins. I don't know what the coins were, but the bills I did notice were German bills from 1926.
Okay.
Like cash money.
Cash money.
Like they're literal like not bank notes, but cash from there, and it had everything written in German. I wasn't sure if my nephew would be interested in something like that, but it was kind of neat. I don't know what the coins were though. The coins were I think a little bit more random on that, and they were a little hard to read. I think I would need like a flashlight to get really good contrast on some of the edges. But those actual like bills were, one of them said 1926 and was definitely a German mark of something.
What was having school?
But it was like $13 for the frame, which is kind of expensive for a thrift store, but at the same time those bills could be worth something.
Maybe.
Yeah, 98 years old. It's old, I mean, but you're talking like before World War II.
It's like World War I money.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's definitely not, I don't think it's usable as money anymore.
It probably has more value as a collector's item.
And it could have value, but I mean, it looked like in really good condition. And there's 2 bills. I didn't read what the second one was.
There's no way of knowing if they're just reproductive.
They looked, the coins looked authentic, and those bills looked old.
Yeah.
They were not in mint condition, but they were in pretty good condition. Like somebody put it in that frame a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because then you get it away from oxygen and that type of stuff, so there's less yellowing.
Isn't there something you can do? I feel happy.
I want those horses
Isn't there something
happy.
you can do? I feel happy. Isn't there something you can do? I feel.
Someday you'll do that smooching video you were talking about.
I was talking about?
Yeah.
I was not going to make a smooching video. I mentioned that it was like 2 characters that had some kind of a romance thing potentially, and you're like, immediately it's about smooching.
Yeah. What romance is. It's.
Harrod, that second one you put made it look like Socia has a beard.
It's weapon.
Oh no, there's too many derpies.
They're shaking their boots.
Shaking their boops?
They're shaking their boots.
Oh, their boots.
No.
They said shaking their boops.
shaking the boots.
No,
wait, go back. Go back. Make her jiggle around really fast.
okay.
She's wiggling on her legs. It's like, go, escape. Go fast. Go get away. I loved it. Just wiggle. Just gonna escape. So she's running. Getting away. You can't catch her. That's the pony ever. I like to imagine that she's so senile at this point that she really does believe she's escaping. Apple just is like, this is the third time
She runs so fast.
since I started walking over here. Like, this is why we gotta do it.
She's still moving, like breaking physics on my side, but to your side, because the side it's not so good. No, she just like having seizures. Now it's actually identical. Oh my god, she's getting very aggressive. Well, see, they're both getting broken.
Oh, this is a little fighting.
Well, she broke. What happened to her?
She accidentally forgot herself and said she liked pear. That's why Applejack's putting her on the cart. Get yourself, Mom.
Let's go for a walk.
You get pears. I got pears upstairs that are probably ripened.
Isn't there something you can do? I feel happy. I feel.
Okay, I think. Oh yeah, I needed to do. Trixie is literally like perfectly like unmoving for a lot of this. She needs to move somehow.
Posted a very Trixie comic today. Horse images. It shows where Starlight dropped her wallet, and she's like, "Oh, I dropped my wallet," and they both reach down to pick up the wallet at the same time. And Trixie looks at Starlight with loving eyes, and then runs off with the wallet. He's like, "Hey, come back." I was actually having a conversation at work thing. We were talking about catty characters who are kind of assholes, and that media needs more of them. And we were talking specifically about Alistair from Baldur's Gate 3. This is his name, right? Vampire dude. And then I brought up that the pony version of that is Trixie. He is the catty character who's kind of an asshole.
Alistair, the voice actor for that was in Final Fantasy 16, and he ran into one of his characters.
Yeah.
Ago. He just said voices in IMDb, so I'm thinking he did multiple characters. But yeah, I heard the voice like that sounds familiar, and it doesn't sound as like when he was doing Alistair, he was trying to add a little bit more like I would call it like not no, I would call it more like he was trying to make it sing-songy almost.
Yeah.
But with that character, it was just more low-key regular, but it was definitely him 100%.
I want to play Fallout London. I think that's the next game I need to play is Fallout London. I might stream that one. I know it's not a horse game, but you know what?
What?
I know. Maybe I can watch to see how to put horses into it.
Maybe you'll go back to Pizza Horse.
Pizza Horse was fun. You should play it.
It's not; those aren't really my type of game, though. And
Platformers?
Not really. And I have
Asterion, that's what it is. I knew I was getting it wrong.
Yeah, close enough. Butter convulses. I have so many. My to-do list for gaming has
long.
just gotten. This is my to-do list.
I'll tell you what we need.
And how many of these am I actively playing right now? Disco Elysium.
Yeah, good.
I'm a good ways into Everspace. I'm 18 hours. I kind of want to go back to it, but I don't know if I'll do. I'm really actively playing Final Fantasy 16. FTL, I might, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to move it to.
What?
No, I'm moving it. Add to mainstays.
Oh, mainstays.
Mainstays are the games that I I'm probably going to remove. Oh no, I already did. These are the games. No, Dark Tide. I'm probably going to remove Dark Tide. They're the couple games that I'm more likely to jump into randomly. I am back to playing House of Torment.
You're going to stop Dark Tide.
No, they had a bunch of big updates.
Were they not good?
No, they're good updates.
Oh,
they're good quality of life updates. So I want to go back to it.
It's just every level is so samey.
No, Halls of Torment. I've been playing that again because that was at 1.0. Technical Breach Wizards. I've been playing. I need to beat that. Sins of a Solar Empire. That's kind of a nice random game to play. V Rising. I'm at the end of.
I don't know how you have time for all these videos.
But half of these I'm not playing right now. I play Final Fantasy VI when my sister's around, so that because she's watching me play it, and then I've been playing Halls of Torment otherwise. But I want to play Koromon at some point, Eastward at some point. Remnant 2 I just got off of a Humble Bundle. I have all these Tales games. Tales of Symphonia, I'm literally at the end of the game, and I can't go back to it. It's not a bad game. It's just aged, and it's rough.
Is that the one with Celestia in it?
No, actually, this game has Crucius, which back a long time ago when I used to play a lot of MMOs, I was in a guild that ended up being called Crucius based on this game, and for years we used that name, and I think I even still have like on my profile, I'm in the group. Yeah, I'm into Crucius. And we always use just pictures of cats as our pictures. But yeah, that's why we were named that. And I never played the game until just recently. And that's where that name or that term came from.
Yeah.
But no, my to-do list right now is so long. I think I want to get rid of a couple of them because I don't know what my next one I want to be is. I want to do a story-driven game, and which is going to be either Until Then or 1000X Resist. Those are both, they're kind of like Disco Elysium, where they're story-driven games, but Until Then and 1000X Resist, their big thing is they have some gorgeous music that they use for it, and they're very emotional, like strong stories.
I want to finish.
I've heard good things about this one. What is this one rated?
I'm nearly finished with Satisfactory.
Yeah, 96%.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, this one's if you want a good story-driven game, I've heard this one's really good. The premise is something about like, thank you very much for the sub, sorry, Wolf. Thank you very much. And the Derpy is now full. No, she's always hungry. The premise is like the whole world got killed by a disease, and only one person survived.
That's sad. And
because they were the only one that was immune, and so they basically cloned themselves. But now that she's gone, and they're all the clones, and they talk of her as the All Mother. But it's a very interesting story apparently, and it looks dark and interesting, and it's made by a small studio. But just making an amazing story-driven game. There's not much play to it. It's just mainly story, but it looks really interesting. And it was on a big sale recently. I got it for like really cheap.
There wasn't one redneck living up in the mountains somewhere who just didn't get the disease.
No, so I don't know the whole thing. It kind of gives me a Nier Automata feel, like because Nier Automata is about like space girls with like no underwear.
Yes, robots don't need underwear. They're robots.
Isn't there something you can do?
Why does a robot need to wear underwear? That would be weird.
No, it's but no, I do want to. I do want to play that game. And Until Then is a
imagining Wally wearing panties now.
Until Then is it's a pixel story driven game, but it's also rated 98% positive.
These seem good.
And it's a story driven game, but it's another game that looks really good with the music and the I cried a lot and stuff. So, but I mean, finish the game. Oh, that was 24 hours. But I like doing reviews because you can go through and be like 35, 26. That doesn't lie. 12, 16. So I'm like, okay, it's probably around 16 to 17 hours for a decent playthrough. Yeah. Reviews are the best way to figure that out. The person at 566, I don't understand, but
they just left it on and then left their house for a week.
Yeah, when you have those like games that are 1 hour game and it shows like somebody has 1,500 hours in it and they just put a review of good or is okay.
They do it for the memes.
Yeah.
Which is a heck of a thing to do.
or just power in general.
Mm-hmm. You made that quick, Kirby.
She did get a cookie. She ate a sandwich and then she had dessert.
Trixie has definitely been working her way up my favorite punk. The more I think about the show. But no, she's way behind Derpy.
I think that most of the best stuff has just been the community is developing a character out of her that is just leaning twice as far into whatever the show did.
The show went pretty far with her.
I know, but like,
I like
they're definitely making her to be like just an asshole, but in a funny way.
She's kind of an asshole.
We stuck her in a vending machine.
Yeah, you did. Like, I was watching clips of just Trixie, and one of my favorite bits is when they were trapped in the bag by the changelings. And Trixie just kept screaming, teleport, teleport, and Starlight's like, that's not how it works. She's like, that's my process. And then later she hears them outside, like, the changeling. She just screams, teleport, and immediately follows it up with, did I save us? I'm like, what Shark's character is amazing. Did I save us? Starlight's just like, whatever's outside this bag, I can murder it in a heartbeat. I'm not concerned. And that's kind of like Starlight's whole thing. She's just not concerned because she knows she can obliterate an entire town on a whim.
Well, a well-placed hit will take anybody out, no matter how strong you are.
Discord.
Yeah, I know, but she got a first hit.
Yeah.
So she's just about. No, she didn't. She didn't kill him.
She destroyed his body.
But he doesn't have a body. He's an idea, essentially.
Yes,
he's basically like, was it V for Vendetta?
Yeah, he can't destroy it.
Like, yeah, even if V dies, it doesn't matter. He still lives on. True Starfire.
Discord is impossible to kill. He's essentially immortal in the actual sense of it.
Yeah, and that's why he's perfect for Fluttershy, because she has really effed up kinks.
Yes. She absolutely does.
Yeah, he went into the shed.
That was the thing, like, people always referred to the comic Discord in G5 as old Discord. He's not old, he's just not kept. His form can appear whatever he wants it to at all times. He just stopped taking care of himself. And he even admitted in the comics that he stopped using. But it didn't mean he aged, he just grew a beard and stopped taking care of his fur. Discord is like Celestia, I believe, is very long-lived, but I don't believe she's truly immortal. Discord is truly immortal.
Discord is the embodiment of a process of the universe.
Yes.
Celestia is not.
Yes.
So he's a physical manifestation of an idea.
But that's what he's a manifestation. He wasn't born.
Yeah.
Like, I even love that his character, like, you always wonder, why couldn't Discord just pop up and help? And they kind of explained it. It's because if he did something that was if something was being chaotic and he showed up to stop it, it could kill him. And I loved that. Like, if there was a war going on and he put an end to it with a snap of his finger, he might end the war. He would also destroy himself. But there's a limit to what he could do.
Oh, well, thank you for the cheer as well. Thank you. Yes. I keep forgetting. I gotta. I not this weekend. Maybe next week. I'm gonna try to get that other graphics card so that I can get the new Derpies things available.
Like, you could argue you could turn the entire enemy army into balloons or something, but at the same time he would have been creating peace in doing so. So that would have hurt him.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing for bits. I made these a while ago. I just have to move it to a new computer. But we have are they under here? No, that's you. That's the pieces of Derpy. Look, there's like a leg. There's another leg.
No, that's the Derpy leg.
Yeah, and there's pieces of you. There's your head. Like, there's your head.
I need to dye my hair.
Oh, the bit. So I think this is the original. No, that's the big. Why is it called Bit Derp? Oh, it's called Big Derp. Okay, we have like ones. We have the keyboard. That's the standard one.
I missed that one.
That's the one that still comes up.
Yeah, it used to have her with the keyboard and the computer.
That one comes up. It's just going to be better quality. And then we have the drums one. And then the car one.
Not working.
This is the big one. Yeah, that one I think is for the bigger bits. It's a full screen one. She blows up though.
Oh, fine.
The kitty derp. They're not available yet. Because I have to use a function that I need to move to the other OBS for, because it's going to be that like if it's under 500 bits, it's going to be picking between, I think it's drums, keyboard, and piano. And then if it goes up to like anything above that or within a certain range, it will upgrade it to, I think, like pool and
Pool one's good.
Yeah, pool one is good. Oh, she's playing the pool. But yeah, and then the car being a much bigger one, so that the more that people give in bits, the bigger the animation that will play. Piano, and it's transparent in the background. It just doesn't look that way here. Here we go. Which one have we played here? Typewriter.
Derby.
Yeah, there was a rubber duck in the pool one.
Rubber ducky. Oh, the fun.
And it goes flying with her. Like you can see the rubber ducky. Go fly. Was it them?
My cider is gone.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the right now the only difference we have is that I think this one, the one with Michael on the horse.
Yeah,
That one comes in, I think, at like 500. I can't remember how much. It might be 1,000 or something. But yeah, I think that's all the bit ones that we have right now. But once that's set up, it means that I can create a new one and add it to the pool, or we can make ones that are specific to certain numbers. So if it was 69 or 420, you can have goofy ones. But yeah, I think those are the ones. But it's just to do the random set thing, it requires some stuff that I need to move to OBS, and I'm everything built onto Streamlabs. And so if I'm already going to move to OBS, I want to just do it on the new computer.
Want more ghost facts? I gave you some ghost facts. Why do you want more ghost facts? Here's a fact about ghosts that you might not know. Ghosts like to dance, but they don't have any legs, so it's part of their endless torture that they have the need to dance. They don't have the legs to do it. They just wobble about a bunch because they like to dance. It is a nightmare for them. Not everything about being a ghost is great. Most of it is good. That part not so much. So if you ever see a ghost, don't play dance music. It only mocks them.
What did you play? The Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash? Yeah, that one makes you want to dance, and they can't. So they're definitely gonna.
But it's their song.
Yeah, but they're gonna haunt you. Not their song. They're not sticking around because it's their song. They're sticking around because they're upset.
What if you play Spooky Scary Skeletons?
He's scared. That's not really their
You
song.
don't really dance to it.
Good. He's scary skeletons.
You're not dancing, you're wobbling.
Yeah, I'm preparing to be a ghost.
You are. You definitely are. You have for years.
I died years ago.
Isn't there something you can do?
It only makes sense.
Isn't there something you can do?
Hey, this spooky song.
I remember there was a couple of years ago where we were working on some video, and I think they had a sky car in the background, and we replaced it with Spooky Scary Skeletons for like a little while. I can't remember what video that was though.
One of the best songs.
I think it was
written.
Lyra Fatale, but that was years ago. That we're talking like, ooh. That was probably like 2017.
Don't say the dates out loud. I was trying to talk about.
Way back in
I
2021.
had one of those moments today at work. I was like, a movie out. I think it's pretty good. It's got John Goodman in it. It's called Cloverfield Lane. And then my coworker's just like, dude, that was 8 years ago.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. I have it on the Plex.
Oh, I know. It's a good movie.
I've never seen it. I thought it had to originally do with the other movie Cloverfield.
There are 3 Cloverfield movies, and each one is a spiritual successor, but they don't really have.
Yeah, because I remember like the first Cloverfield was like it's Godzilla.
Yeah.
And it was all filmed like it was Blair Witch. But then that one I think has nothing to do with Godzilla.
There's Cloverfield, Cloverfield Lane, and Cloverfield something. I can't remember. The third one was awful. I haven't seen it, but it got like 22% online. But Cloverfield Lane. The Cloverfield is okay. It's fine. Cloverfield Lane, though, is an amazing film, and it's all because of John Goodman. John Goodman just knocked it.
No, John Goodman's an amazing actor, just in general.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters to play in Dark Tide is John Goodman. Because I don't know why, but if you do all the facial structures right on one of the large, beefy dudes, it looks like John Goodman. So I called him John Goodman. Who Goodman? Oh, John Goodman. Everybody should know John Goodman. John Goodman.
Yeah. He's great.
There you go.
Like, he's the reason I love The Big Lebowski has a lot of good actors in it, but John Goodman's just one of them.
Well, I don't know what he did here, but I like it. I mean, one of his more popular roles was in Roseanne.
Yeah.
10 Cloverfield Lane. Well, he was in Argo. Argo, that's got to be a good movie. I only own like 45 copies of it.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
Literally. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Actually, you know what's funny is I own these 3 movies. I own Flight, Argo, and Cloverfield Lane.
Cloverfield Lane would be a good October film because it's a thriller.
He's done some popular stuff. He's done some big name stuff. And he's a great actor.
He's amazing. He plays his bit well.
What's that from?
I don't know.
Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I thought that was just John Goodman punching a giant crab.
Is that not John Goodman punching a giant crab?
If that's what happens in that movie, it's on my list.
I did like him in Speed Racer, where he's beating up the ninjas. And he's just like, they don't make ninjas like they used to.
Oh, that's got some. That's got some big names in there. That's Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
Kurt Russell's in there too.
John Goodman's not on the cover though.
Hold on, who's that lady in the front
that's
there?
Godzilla. It's straight up Godzilla.
Yeah, that is Godzilla. But who's that lady?
I don't know.
She looks really familiar. Okay, no, she can't be. She's too young now.
Yeah, you don't know younger actors.
No, she kind of looks like one of the ladies that plays in, or at least in that one picture from Battlestar Galactica, but that was 20 years ago, so that would definitely not be her.
I feel happy. I feel happy.
I have been watching Battlestar Galactica a lot, and I am very much enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. It's currently probably my favorite sci-fi.
It's not as good as the Orville.
Orville was fun, but there's the aesthetic of it where, like, they don't have shields.
Yeah.
They don't. FTL isn't.
They have it.
FTL's in there, but it's not about traveling fast. It's about like more, or of like transporting yourself to a different place in space, which has
the speed of light.
No, that's why it's FTL.
Yeah.
It's literally an instant travel to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like using, I don't know what the tech is for it, or they never really explain it, but that's the one part that's a little fantastical. But other than that, everything else is within scientific reason. And that's what I like about it, because there's that whole thing I remember reading where you're allowed one thing to create it that is unbelievable and doesn't make sense, and people will go with it. But if you make too many things, and I feel like the FTL in there is the one thing that did, but everything else does fit within some kind of realistic physics, and it's just, it feels good. It's so good.
The only space show I've ever seen that really explains faster than light travel was was that show you really right? The Expanse.
But they never really do. Well, they use wormholes.
Yes,
but they don't do FTL.
Yeah, they're not going faster than light. They're going super fast.
No, so in that show, everything is using true physics to where even the ships, there's no artificial gravity. Yeah. They use gravity through acceleration, and halfway through a trip, they have to spin around and slow down. But other than that, the alien tech is the only thing that is fantastical. But it's fantastical to everybody in there too. Yeah, they don't even believe it. Yeah. They don't understand it. Yeah. They never explain it. Mm-hmm. So that's fine because you can do as much of that as you want because even the people you're with don't make sense of it. Yeah. So you're following them on that journey. So
it works.
But yeah, it's Expanse is also I really like. I'd probably say Expanse I probably like more, but Expanse never finished. If Expanse went all the way through season 9 and did the whole book series, then it would be my top forever. But it being that they stopped before it got to the good part. The best part is the last 3 books.
Of Australia. I'm sure the best parts are going to be the books in Australia that haven't finished.
No, it's always because when you have a big book series, you're working towards something. And when they cut out the thing they work towards.
Yeah.
Just
Battlestar Galactica kind of reminds me of the space world in the Alien films, where it's like they're in space, but for whatever reason, everything they do besides being in space feels like they're just like roughnecking it in like the Bronx.
That's what I liked about Battlestar Galactica, though, is that that's kind of what they're doing. Yeah. Because there's nothing. They have nothing. Like, if all they have is what they have available within their fleet, because everything else is gone. So, like, they are kind of roughing it.
It's not as extreme as Alien. Alien is pretty extreme.
Well, Alien's like one ship. They have an entire fleet of like 130 ships.
Well, she's just bouncing around science facilities and prisons and through space, but she just shows up to a place and then like it's just metal walls and shotguns. Nothing fancy. Like, what do you have here? We have a coffee pot. Gotta beat the alien with that. Good luck. It's like, look at all this 1970s tech inside of this spaceship.
That's what I like, though. It's like a generation is always going to use their current tech to extrapolate what the future of space is, and what the late 90s and early 2000s saw as future tech is, to me, the best. The Expanse, Battlestar Galactica, Stargate, that's the type of tech, because now they try to, it's different with all these computer graphics and stuff, but when everything was just so much, I liked it way more. But that's probably me just speaking from a position of being from that generation too.
Like when these hot space girls. Captain Kirk just runs around the universe just punching anybody who has hot space girls but isn't treating them very nice. That he can sleep with them. Isn't that what space is all about?
Sleeping with hot space girls?
I'm asking you a question, Kev. I love that. Zach Brannigan. Zach Brannigan. Like man's drive to travel through space is to find new worlds, hot alien girls, and sleep with them? I'm asking a question, Kev. Is that not why we're here? I love it. Zach's great. He's basically just Captain Kirk.
Well, he is Captain Kirk in what people personified his character as, of being. I mean, that's not what he was, but he definitely he kind of was what people remember about, and that's all. That what makes good television is somebody taking some trait and then stretching it out as far as they can.
What Zach Brannigan felt like Captain Kirk in Star Trek, I believe, is what Zach Brannigan views himself as, but in fact he's just the bumbling idiot in space. But in Star Trek, the original Star Trek, much of the premise was they would go to a world, Captain Kirk would be met by hot alien women who would be captive or enslaved or something awful, and he would save them, and then it would lead to kissing and smooching. This hot alien woman. And that was a lot of the Star Trek series that only really ran for 3 seasons. A lot of people really don't remember that was so short. Then there were the movies. So.
The movies are what I think saved it.
Yeah. Well, literally.
But that's why I said it.
Yeah. But Zach Brannigan saying, is it not man's dream to travel through space, find hot alien women, and have sex with them? Because that's what Captain Kirk did. But Zach Brannigan is just Captain Kirk. Because everybody realizes what he's doing is really stupid.
And why do all these aliens have 70s haircuts?
Crazy. I think there was one really weird episode of Star Trek where they went to an alien world and they just came across America, and it was just America, space world, but white people were the natives, and the natives, they just kind of did like a role reversal. It was weird. Space is weird.
It is weird when they have it weird when they like run into planets that are so Earth-like, but like Orville did that when they ran into the planet that had a pure democracy, not a democracy, but like what is the where
it's like everything was social media.
But no, it was where the people 100%. There was no elected officials. The people decide everything.
Yeah,
I forgot what that's called when you go to that extreme. But to where, yeah, it was every person, if they, whether like somebody was judged guilty for a crime or all decisions for government was decided by a popular vote for everything. But that also meant that some people could just be assholes. Yeah, they could be like, wow, that in that 30-second thing I heard, he sounded like an asshole, so I'm going to vote him to die. And like, it was pretty rough, but it looked basically like America. No, I think the one thing I like about Battlestar Galactica is that all these other ones are always about space, space, space. This one's almost bringing in this like, not religious bit where like a fate part where things start happening that don't make sense because it's been foretold, and they're like, what? And they're like, everything's following this like this fate that's been written, and things start happening that are almost like predestined, and so it almost gets into this like almost above space and into this like religious thing, and it gets really weird, but in a good way. But we're like, they're trying to figure out what's going on and why it is the way it is, but it's still, it doesn't make sense, but at the same time, it definitely is a thing because there's no way that wouldn't happen otherwise. So it's neat to see how that's playing out.
Robots showed up and started messing up stuff, but they were hot, sexy space robots. So
one of them was, yeah. Actually, there's a few of them are.
Yeah, I noticed. Like space robots, they tend to get in relationships with people who are like, ooh, you can't be, you're a hot, sexy space robot. So
hello, humans. We are hot, sexy space robots. Would you like to mate?
That's how you destroy.
And there'd definitely be like 15% of the population would be like,
yes. I think enough of the population.
Snoo, snoo.
Death by snoo, snoo. That first episode, like he's sleeping with the hot, sexy space robot, and her spinal cord starts going. I don't know if that ever happens again. But I was like, why? I guess they really needed to let you know she's a robot. But then later they say she's basically just human. It's basically the synth from Fallout 4.
No, there's spoilers for people. Jeez.
It's episode 1. Not a spoiler if it's episode 1.
No, you don't even know anything.
Well, I don't know anything.
No, you don't.
But that's what I perceived.
And so then you spoke it as truth.
Yeah, because it is.
But you get to pick one truth, and we'll let you that be your one truth. So then
No,
Derpy is no longer best pony.
She absolutely
No,
is.
no, that's your one truth. You already used your one truth.
To decide who is best pony, it's Derpy. I decided. Everyone knows this is true. I remember there was like a panel at Cider Fest, and there was like the whole point of the panel was just people showing up and arguing why their pony is best pony, but they was restricted to mares. You were only allowed to argue mares.
Why?
Because that's the panel, and it was correct.
You're allowed to argue except for 50% of the population. This just sounds like the panel you were angry about. Change blah blah blah, change my mind, except for there's no argument.
No, you can have an argument, but stallions are just, everybody knows that can't possibly be the case. But when I pulled out Derpy as the best pony, like the panelists were like groaning because they were like, of course she's best. No, that's not even fair.
You can't come in here with the Exodia card.
We all know Derpy is best pony. Talk about the other pony. They know. They knew.
So if Ciderfest has a Derpy appreciation panel,
Oh, I'm going to it. You will not be able to stop
and what
me.
if it's as bad as the other one?
Oh, the Gladys
Yeah.
one? Impossible.
No, that's all they do the whole time is that
Draw pictures of Derpy?
no, they don't even do that. Just draw pictures of mares. They don't even talk about Derpy.
It's like, what? That'd be like,
I feel like you would literally like flip the table and like
that would be like
do
going
shit.
to a pony meetup and nobody's talking about pony. Who in their right mind
We do that all
would
the time.
something so cruel, so evil?
We do that all the time.
I know it's awful. We're talking about pony. Everyone in chat agrees. Like, why? It's like, why aren't you talking about pony right now?
We got a hard time with Derpy.
Yeah, no, we're right now. Not enough. We need to have more people in this room so they can be also talking about.
Most people that say change my mind only just what they mean is validate my opinion.
She was so upset. Like, I was like, it's not really steampunk, it's more arcane punk. And she's like, wow, just coming in here to heckle me. I'm like, okay, I guess it's not that panel then.
I would have literally just said, but you said change my mind. But you also brought it up, I think, in the middle of the panel.
Yeah.
Or right at the beginning.
It was close to being.
If she had an actual presentation to do, so
Yeah.
she was putting the VHS in there and hitting play, and you were like, hit pause quick.
She was taking questions.
You know, not in those questions.
I don't know how her panel was supposed to work. I wasn't.
She doesn't know how her panel was supposed to work.
It didn't work for most of the time. I missed the orientation. Change my mind, I dare you. Because in the pony world, things were steampunk-esque, but they had their power source was always met in one sort of way or another. If they ever got using the steam, that's how you end in war with the zebras and the destruction of Equestria. So, like, I was kind of with Lauren Faust on that one where she had the ponies pulling the train the first time. She really did not want it. She didn't want like steam power. I think eventually she relented to like things being powered by magic. But they never really said how the train was run. So in
Coal.
my mind it was magic.
Dirty,
Why wouldn't you?
dirty coal.
Yes. Magic seemed rather potent in the horse world, so I imagine they would use it for a lot of things. So it would kind of make unicorns indispensable, except that, like, to guess how come
No, Earth ponies. They put a lot of like Nordic bikes in there, and then the Earth ponies just pedal really fast.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was them pulling the train, was Earth ponies when they had the train going. It's Earth pony power.
Okay, there's a little bit of the leg break here. I'm not too worried on it because from this angle you can't even really see it.
Isn't there something you can do.
Like, if you ever wonder why ponies were pulling the train in the first episode they had a train, it was basically Lauren Faust going, but I don't want trains. If you're gonna make me do trains, Hasbro.
I'm okay with the train. I kind of like the train. And you got the choo thing.
Yeah, it's cute.
I actually want to record a tutorial on what I did for the script modification, but that takes like thinking and time. Mm-hmm. Train.
Your train.
There's a choo train.
Train. I really need to play. I think I will stream because I really want to play Fallout London. I know next to nothing about it.
It's another one that Asterion did.
Yeah, and Asterion was in it. That's what got me thinking about it. Because I knew he voiced a character in it.
Yeah, they built a whole, I think, mission for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also, like, he wasn't contacted. They were working on the mod, and he messaged them. And then, like, during a live stream, an email came up, and somebody saw his name, and they're like, one of the people working on the team, and they're like, dude, that's blah blah blah. And they're like, yeah, we get a lot of those, but it's blah blah blah. Yeah, but people
freaking out.
Yeah, no, people that worked on the project didn't realize this guy had been messaged, and it was after that he's like, oh, and so he messaged back, and he's like, yes, I'll do it. And so,
award-winning voice actor.
Yes,
work on our game.
In not just an award-winning voice actor in the more recent, which means publicity. So I just thought that was funny when the guy was like freaking out, and his response kept being, but it's him, and like, yeah, but it's him.
I have to go back and see that.
It was. I only saw the text version of it, so I'm not sure how the audio part worked out, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah. No. I think that would be a fun one to stream because I'm a huge Fallout nerd. And that's been kind of the Fallout game right now since I'm not playing any more 76 unless I'm really pushed to it. Because it's not good. It's not good.
We had a lot of fun with it.
We had fun.
The game itself isn't that great, but with friends, I think it's really fun.
Yes, because you can just goof about in the world.
And now I think that there's stuff in there to make it solo play worthy, but I don't like a perpetual game like that.
I don't like. They broke so much of the lore to make that game happen.
Well, to me, it's not that. It's when you have a handcrafted single player, you can do a lot of things within the world. You can have like forever changes to certain things. But when you have a perpetually running world, it means that anything you do can't affect it. Otherwise, any new players are going to be affected by it. So you're doing all this stuff knowing that nothing will change and there's no end. Yeah. I like games with ends.
Something has to change in the world, because of your help. You're out to save the world.
Yeah, you make a change, and if suddenly, because you made that change, like there's now faction is attacking you, great, but they probably weren't going to do that in the regular game. Yeah. And then when they have like events to go do and stuff, it just doesn't, it feels more like you're just doing an MMO in the Fallout universe, not playing a Fallout game.
Yeah.
But when playing through like the one time just through the main story stuff with friends, it was fun. I like that. They
should have spent more time creating lore unique to the West Virginia Appalachian Mountains, like they did with the cryptids. That was cool. Trying to force everything in the Fallout universe into the Appalachian Mountains in West Virginia, like the Brotherhood of Steel and the Enclave and the Super Mutants, where they really did not belong. It kills the immersion for me because it doesn't make sense. When they had the Brotherhood of Steel show up on the East Coast, they gave them the time, the dateline. They said that why they did it, why they went there. It made sense in the scheme of things. Them being in the West Virginia mountains only, 25 years after the bombs fell? No, there's no way that could have happened. It wasn't good. Lore-wise. They tried to stick to the lore at the very beginning. And it kind of reminded me of World of Warcraft in that sense, where like the very first version of World of Warcraft stuck to the lore, and then later iterations just kind of broke it. Later expansions. Until they kind of just...
There's only so much you can do before if you try to stick within the lore of building this big and bigger thing, eventually you're going to accidentally break lore. And also eventually people are going to find favorites that they don't want to be left without. But if you want to expand in those other areas, you have to leave them out. And Brotherhood of Steel is one of them. They just can't go without Brotherhood of Steel.
It made absolutely no sense. It would be in the mountains that early after the bombs fell.
I feel happy.
Maybe like in 200 years, but not then.
Happy. I feel happy.
Like I kind of like the series, the Fallout series, because the Brotherhood of Steel were definitely on the back foot and Fallout New Vegas. On the
No, the TV series did great.
on the West Coast. The TV series was amazing. They stuck to the lore.
Well, yeah, and as soon as like New Vegas popped up, you're like, ugh.
Because some things like started connecting together of why certain things were the way they were. And when I saw Vegas, I'm like, that's why. Like it all started connecting. Like I can't possibly know what's going to happen next in that series, but if House isn't alive, I'm going to call bullshit. He's got to be alive.
We're gonna be done, but I think Jay is streaming.
Is he now?
The reason he says he couldn't today was because he was going to stream. Yeah, he's streaming. That's he couldn't
Again? With Silent Hill 2.
Yeah,
He loves that game.
so we're gonna rate him because we haven't done him forever.
He might not pay attention.
We're like I said, we're gonna have a bonfire today or tomorrow, and Jay said he couldn't today because he's streaming. So we'll go over to Jay, but he does tend to have more people on his YouTube side, so you can always jump to his YouTube if you want. No, on here, but he dual streams on YouTube. I don't know how many people are on his YouTube.
Probably more. That's why he does.
7.
Yeah.
So not too many more. But
Mo's with him.
yep, Mo's. Then I remember him saying Mo's going to be there too. So, but we will jump over there.
Okay.
What happened on music? Oh, I hit the wrong button. There we go. I don't remember hitting pre-roll, but apparently I went there.
Again.
I might mean to end a little early, but yeah, we're going to be done. No stream tomorrow. Then ignore Discord if it says an event. I've tried canceling it 3 times, and it keeps saying that there's an event for tomorrow, even though I've canceled. And even in then, it might cancel some random other days. It's so stupid. No, the Jesus.
No smooching.
Yeah, bad derp. But we should be back Sunday though. To do your game, Disco Elysium.
Yeah, my game.
Well, we have 2 this weekend and next weekend, and then after that we have to be on a break for Cinefest. But thank you to Craft VH for the follow. Thank you to SoulKitty87 and Soy Wolf YS. I know Soul Kitty was for 38 months total. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much, Soul Kitty. And thank you to Soul Wolf for the new sub. I very much appreciate it. Also for the cheers. Also very much appreciate. And then Sunset from Bot Murdering. But yeah, we'll see you guys on Sunday for games.
He got the patent ponies. Post all the ponies in Jay's chat. He has them. I see them. Those ponies.